Malone, St. Louis Voices Academy receives an update as to whether or not they can reopen. I've got that story coming up.
I'm Megan Lynch.
An Illinois man gets 7 years in prison for defrauding elderly women, some of them in the St. Louis area. I'm Scott Jagow with that just ahead.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Mostly cloudy and cold today, the high 38.
I'm Joe Pott. The Blues got beat up last night in Nashville, but there was a bright spot in the game. I've got more on that coming up in sports.
We have CBS News for you at the top of the hour, and we'll keep our eyes on your ride in as well. So stay with us here as Total Information AM continues. At the tone, it's 6 o'clock in Mid-America.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. More than 100,000 people in Washington state have now been moved to higher ground after days of heavy rain triggered historic flooding and mudslides.
Coast Guard helicopters have been rescuing people from their roofs.
I've taken up 2 survivors, going to the LZ to drop them off, and then come back to the next jail.
Andra Hodges evacuated her home in Snohomish.
We woke up at 5 and we were fully submerged, fully on our own little island.
This man's home in Sumas was flooded for the second time in 4 years.
100-year flood has turned into a 4-year flood. This isn't livable.
The rain is expected to let up today and tomorrow. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
CBS News has learned the Trump administration is set to ratchet up pressure on Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro with more military action and tanker seizures. White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt.
The president is committed to stopping the illegal flow of drugs into our country. He's also fully committed to effectuating this administration's sanction policy.
Maduro says this week's tanker seizure was like something out of a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Healthcare costs set to rise for millions of Americans January 1st after the Senate failed to pass dueling bills. CBS's Nicole Killian.
There are many moderate Republicans, along with Democrats, who believe that these enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies need to be extended. Otherwise, they fear their constituents could see severe premium spikes.
In Indiana, cheers outside the state Senate chamber after 21 Republican lawmakers joined Democrats to defeat a GOP redistricting plan that would have wiped out the state's 2 Democratic congressional seats. President Trump is threatening retribution for the state's top Republican, Roderick Bray.
I'm sure that whenever his primary is, it's, I think, in 2 years, but I'm sure he'll go down. He'll go down. I'll certainly support anybody that wants to go against him.
GOP Senator Linda Rogers voted no.
The majority of the constituents in my district that reach out to me really were against redistricting.
Police in Tampa are showing off a quick response after an elderly man slipped and fell while he was blowing leaves on the roof of his 3-story home.
Let me get your wrist. Come here. Okay. Give me your wrist.
You got it.
Body cam footage shows officers climbing through an upstairs window and crawling across the roof to find him with his legs dangling over the ledge. They pulled his whole body safely back to the top.
I didn't mean to cause all this.
No. It's not your fault at all. That's what we're here for, okay?
Dow futures up 56. This is CBS News.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
At 6:03, we have cloudy skies, 34 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, December 12th. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey. A downtown charter school cannot reopen due to new issues.
After a failed safety review forced St. Louis Voices Academy to go virtual, concerns about staffing will keep students from returning to in-person learning. In a letter to the school, the Missouri Charter School Commission says Voices Academy has not provided a roster of employees that shows they have the adequate staffing to handle the amount of students enrolled. Their letter also says their safety plan includes the names of staffers who are not on their roster. In a positive development for St. Louis Voices Academy, a reassessment of their safety plans and protocols found they have made the necessary changes to reopen, but will need to rectify the staffing issues first. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
KMOX has asked for comment from St. Louis Voices Academy.
One person is dead, several more injured following an overnight crash in South St. Louis. City police say it happened around midnight on northbound Interstate 55 near South Broadway. The interstate was shut down for several hours for investigators to complete their work. No names released.
2 women from the same area among the victims of a major fraudster.
38-year-old Lignesh Kumar Patel of Chicago is headed to prison for 7 years after pleading guilty to multiple fraud counts. They say he acted as a money mule for a much larger international fraud ring. 85 victims, $7 million in losses. Patel was responsible for more than $2 million. One of his victims was an Edwardsville woman who Patel tricked into buying $150,000 in South African gold coins with her retirement. Another woman in University City was convinced her identity had been used to create pornography. The only way to resolve it, paying $50,000 in cash to Patel, sitting outside her home in a Mercedes. Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
Homicide detectives are working a case in the Tower Grove South neighborhood. St. Louis City Police say a fatal shooting happened around 3 Thursday afternoon in the 3700 block of Winnebago. We know a man has died but have not learned his name.
St. Louis City Police say lack of important information led to a woman being held at gunpoint, not receiving a timely response. Police spokesman Mitch McCoy says initial calls only described a domestic disturbance with a man and woman shouting at one another, only learning later that a gun was involved.
We did not have that information, and we could have been there faster.
McCoy says once they learned the woman was being held at gunpoint, an officer arrived within 8 minutes.
If you're shopping at West County Mall, you may see a unique vending machine. It's the St. Louis Giving Machine. There are choices from 5 local nonprofits for you to help. 100% of your donation made at the Giving Machines given directly to the charity of your choice.
You may be using AI assistants to help you shop this holiday season. Experts say they can help you avoid decision fatigue, but they could try to help you too much.
Daniel Burris, strategic AI advisor and founder of Burris Research, tells KMOX independent AI platforms can help create lists and narrow down a search.
You can say, I want to give a present to my grandniece, and this is her age, and these are the things she likes. What are some examples of some toys that I could get?
However, Burris has a couple of warnings. He says if you use AI assistants that are linked to a merchant or marketplace, they could access too much of your past purchasing and browsing behavior, or may try to influence you to buy from sponsors. He also says you should be very cautious using so-called AI agents that actually make spending decisions for you and have access to your financial accounts.
A recent news report out of northwestern Missouri details mistakes Buchanan County residents say they found on their end-of-year tax statements. KQTV in St. Joseph reports that those mistakes included excluding maintenance costs from their bills and not including any late fees owed. David Broderson, president of Missouri County Collectors Association, says not every county collects taxes in the exact same manner.
Some counties do collect a special assessment for the cities, particular cities in their county. In my case, I just started doing that a couple of years ago for one of the cities that I collect for.
Broderson also serves as Benton County's tax collector. He says if you think your tax bill is wrong or has a few errors, you must contact your local tax collector's office.
From the Business Desk, sponsored by Krenz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. After almost 30 years of being a St. Louis area staple, Super Smokers Barbecue is closing its doors. Jeff Fitter has been the owner since 2017. He says it's been a really rough year, and for most of it, they were just hoping to break even.
We've entered a world where rising food costs and costs for labor, electric's gone up, gas has gone up, water's through the roof. It just costs more to do business.
Fitter says meat prices are through the roof, too. Their last day of service at their Eureka location is this Sunday.
It is 6:08, and we will take a look at the weather, which is going to turn frigid just in time for the weekend. Details on that and your ride in next.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la. CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen! So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. You could find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow. Billshappen.com is safe, secure, and all online. Just remember, when you need cash, go to billshappen.com. Billshappen.com for the cash you need now. Billshappen.com.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It's 6:10. We need to get you another update on your ride into work with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, things continue to roll along out there, Megan, as they look around the area. In fact, I just got a note from IDOT, no surprise. I mean, a few minutes ago that they're doing their road work eastbound 64 between 50 and 158, the left lane closed through there. But again, lighter volume on a Friday morning, so not seeing any delays at this point in that area. And that little slowdown we had 10 minutes ago is dissipated westbound 64 approaching 70 out in the Lake St. Louis, Wentzville area, so you're good to go there. Don't forget a heads up for road work tonight on northbound 55. In fact, we have a couple of things going on. The closure of North 55 between Z&M scheduled again tonight and tomorrow night from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m., but at 9 p.m., they're going to shut down the ramp from A to northbound 55, and that's a 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. tomorrow morning situation, so a couple of restrictions in Jefferson County overnight tonight. Next update at 6:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Lots of clouds and cold today, high 38, remaining cloudy tonight, though 25. Cloudy and very cold tomorrow. It'll become breezy, too, for high 29, but temperature will slowly fall in the afternoon. Look for some snow to pass mainly north of the city throughout today and end during the evening hours. Sunshine returns for Sunday, but it is going to be brisk and frigid with a high just 16. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Chuck's Boots, the Midwest's largest boot stores. Boots for every walk of life. Rugged work boots, stylish fashion, comfortable hiking boots, cowboy classics, uniform boots, and motorcycle gear. Chuck's Boots in Fenton and St. Peter's. Chuck'sBoots.com.
We have cloudy skies, 32 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis.
Rough night for the Blues in Nashville last night. Those details coming up in sports.
It's now 6:12. With time running out to find a way to avoid increasing healthcare costs for millions of Americans, the Senate took up competing measures Thursday from Democrats and Republicans to address the issue. But as CBS's Erica Brown reports from Capitol Hill, lawmakers don't seem to be any closer to finding a solution.
Bobby Laughlin of Maryland says without the subsidies, his premiums will increase more than 5 times the current cost.
I think I would absolutely have to downgrade my insurance to something that barely covers my needs.
The Democrats' proposal would extend the healthcare subsidies for 3 years, but Republicans were pushing for funds to go into health savings accounts instead.
Missouri Republican Josh Hawley joined with Maine's Susan Collins and Alaska's 2 Republican senators siding with Democrats in the failing effort to extend the credits.
A new study looked at the link between mRNA COVID-19 vaccines and a condition affecting the heart. We get more from KMOX Health editor Fred Bottomer.
The mRNA vaccines for COVID have now been administered several billion times.
The vaccine is very safe.
But Stanford Cardiovascular Institute Director Dr. Joseph Wu says they can cause myocarditis.
It's very rare. Young men, we see it more.
But he stresses
the risk of the COVID, because the COVID can cause damage to all the different organs in the body and could cause death, is much higher than the risk of the COVID vaccine that could cause myocarditis.
Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The Transportation Security Administration wants you to get through airport checkpoints a bit quicker this holiday season.
It's the busy flying season, and TSA agents ask that you pack your patience as you wait in line.
Also, don't bring any knives, tools, or long scissors in carry-ons. What about those wrapped gifts?
We prefer that you not wrap your gifts because we don't open every gift, but if we have to check it, we will have to open it up, and we prefer not to tear open their gifts.
At St. Louis Lambert International Airport, Brad Choate, KMOX News.
It's been 2 weeks since some abandoned warehouses burned near downtown St. Louis. One homeless person remains missing. Police Department spokesperson Mitch McCoy tells our partners at Fox 2.
We are analyzing debris from that fire. I was notified today that it has been sent to the ATF lab in Washington, D.C. for forensic review.
The Bethalto Police Department says 3 juveniles have come forward to confess they stole money from a donation box. There's a Christmas Village display in Central Park. A donation box is up there, and 3 females were seen taking money from it just after 5 Monday night. The department says they will move forward with appropriate steps related to juveniles will not be released.
Well, Steven Stamkos scored 4 times last night for the Predators as the Blues dropped a 7-2 contest in Nashville Thursday night. It was 2-0 Nashville already going to the second period. And 4 minutes into the second period, well, a nice moment for the Blues and for rookie Hugh McGing.
The rookie out of the corner. Robo slides over, and he will probe into the corner. So that's the quick move. They score. The puck bounced right to the open man, Hugh McGing. And McGing is able to pick up his first NHL goal, so they'll grab the puck for him.
That's courtesy of the Predators and FanDuel Sports Network. The former Blue, Ryan O'Reilly, added his 10th goal of the year to make it a 3-1 game in favor of Nashville. And his goal, the first of 3 in less than 4 minutes in the second period for Nashville. That opened up a 5-1 lead. It was 6-2 Nashville going to the third. The Predators added a power play goal in the third for the 7-2 final. Jordan Binnington played the first 2 periods. He allowed 6 of Nashville's 7 goals before being replaced by Joel Hofer. The Blues have now dropped 4 of 6. Rookie Hugh McGing talked about his first NHL goal after the game.
Yeah, it felt good, honestly. Dream about scoring in the NHL, so it finally came, felt good. But yeah, obviously would like to get a win.
Take us through the play and how it developed.
Broberg was just, a couple cutbacks in the corner. I popped out to the slot area, tried to pass it to me, went to Fabry in front of the net, made a beautiful pass to me, and I just one-timed it in.
Meanwhile, Blues head coach Jim Montgomery said the team has been too soft recently.
The last 2 games, we've been not hard enough at either net front. We don't get there too on the inside. That's where good teams in the NHL score goals, screening the goalie and having 2 guys whacking away at rebounds like you saw them score 3 or 4 times tonight. And we're not boxing out at our net front. The physicality and our D-zone coverage the last 2 games has really dissipated.
Robbie Fabry played his first game back with the Blues, and he picked up the assist on McGing's goal, and Montgomery liked what he saw from his forward.
I loved his habits and details. Like he was at the net front screening. He got his assist being at the net front, passing it over to Hugh. He was finishing checks. He was winning wall battles, all those little things that help your team have success.
Can his habits, what you saw tonight, maybe resonate with the rest of the group when they see a new guy come in and doing those?
You see the infectious. You hope that it'll be infectious throughout our lineup. And, we got an opportunity to regroup tomorrow night against the Hawks, our biggest rival. So we look forward to tomorrow night at home.
It is the Blues and the Blackhawks tonight at Enterprise Center. Puck drops at 7 o'clock, and that's the start of 4 in a row at home for the Blues. They'll also see the Predators again. That's at Enterprise Center on Monday night. Next sports update is 6:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX.
KMOX, celebrating 100 years. Presented by Purina, your pet, our passion. Now, a KMOX pioneer.
For nearly 4 decades, no one shaped KMOX more than Robert Hyland. When he took over as general manager, Hyland transformed KMOX into the nation's first major all-talk radio station with At Your Service.
I think it's been a vehicle, it's been a forum for people, and it's brought people closer. That's what we're trying to do, air the views so we can put them out on the table and then dissect them and talk about them among ourselves and also with the experts and so-called experts on at your service.
He built KMOX into the sports voice of St. Louis, securing partnerships with the Cardinals, Blues, Football Cardinals, and Mizzou, and turning the station into a national powerhouse. A tireless leader, Robert Hyland turned KMOX into what CBS founder William Paley called the jewel in the CBS crown. Robert Hyland, a KMOX pioneer.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's 6:20. We need another update on the roads. It has been fairly smooth, though, so far. Roger Brand has an update from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, we continue to roll along out there, Megan. It's a really pretty easy Friday morning for you right now, so no real concerns as you head out the door of 55, running up through Festus. North of Bayless looks good. I'm back seeing a little volume out to the west of us here again. Westbound 64 is more of a slowdown. Lake St. Louis Boulevard out to 70, where they're doing road work in that area. And southbound 61, just a little busy coming down through Wentzville Parkway. So again, more volume actually westbound on 64. That's the busiest spot. Eastbound 64, I know they're out there in that left lane between 50 and 158, but I'm not seeing any delays in that construction zone so far. And except for the work zones, I mean, that's the only place we would expect to see maybe some slowdowns this time of the morning. There's not enough volume out there to create delays anywhere else. So we're pretty much good to go for you right now on both sides of the river. Don't forget tonight, though, overnight, we're going to have restrictions again, scheduled to do road work 55 and have a complete northbound closure between Z and M once again tonight between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. And I think it's 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. or more of a longer closure, but the ramp from A on to northbound 55 is also scheduled to be closed tonight as well. Next update at 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It looks like we're going to have mostly cloudy skies today. It will be cold, a high only around 38 degrees, cloudy and cold tonight with a low of 25. Right now we have cloudy skies, 34 degrees downtown at the Arch.
The news continues at 6:22. A customer at a Hardee's in Missouri got more than he ordered when he walked into a restaurant with no employees in sight. Food was still cooking, cheese and condiments left out, no one working the counter, so customer Ryan Eggers called 911.
My wife was craving a hot ham and cheese melt and went to Hardee's, waited for about 10 minutes and nobody showed up. In all my life, I've never encountered a situation such as this. I figured something was off, but you never know anymore.
Police showed up and learned later there was reportedly a dispute among employees and everyone just walked out mid-shift. No crime, no injuries, just one very confused drive-through situation.
A new report from the National Retail Federation shows that Gen Z shoppers make the most holiday returns of any generation. Reporter Art Sanders says that's because despite the environmental damage it causes.
Gen Z is also the most vocal about sustainability, yet every year it's estimated that 8.4 billion pounds of returns end up in landfills. Taylor Hoyt, head of product and technology at the online marketplace Rebel, says the reason 18 to 30-year-olds make so many returns is an information problem.
And the fact is that most retailers can't afford to process those returns. And the huge gap comes where Gen Z just doesn't realize that those products that they're buying are ending up in the landfill.
Retailers estimate that 15.8% of their annual sales will be returned this year, totaling nearly $850 billion. I'm Art Sanders.
Sunday is the 17th annual free shipping day when department stores and retailers waive their minimum ordering requirements and even guarantee your items get to you by Christmas Eve. It also helps make Sunday the 5th busiest shopping day of the year. Target, Staples, Best Buy, and Macy's among the hundreds of stores participating this year.
Many of the nation's leading physician groups are criticizing the decision by a CDC advisory panel picked by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. over infant vaccines. The panel is urging to end routine newborn vaccination against hepatitis B.
That virus can cause liver failure or liver cancer. The American Academy of Pediatrics, as well as other doctors' groups, say they will keep recommending it anyway. Dr. Celine Gounder is editor-at-large for public health at KFF.
The CDC's advisory panel voted to end the universal hepatitis B shot given to newborns in the first 24 hours of life. Instead, only babies born to mothers who test positive will automatically get it. Doctors are concerned that this could undo 30 years of progress in stopping a virus that can cause liver cancer. We're rolling back a policy that cut infant hepatitis B infections by more than 99%.
Holiday party season brings plenty of festive cocktails and sweet treats. KCBS's Virginia Van Zant has more on how to stay on track with your health goals while celebrating.
First things first, don't starve yourself before the party.
Let's eat a healthy snack before we go to the holiday party, just to kind of take the edge off so that you're not starving when you get there and you just start grabbing whatever's around.
Sherry Gaw is a dietitian and nutritionist with El Camino Health. She says, when it comes to those festive alcoholic favorites, like eggnog and hot buttered rum, make sure to stay hydrated in between drinks.
Let's say you have something with alcohol. Let's have a glass of water next. Always fit in a glass of water in between those other types of drinks.
If it's not too cold outside, take a quick break from the festivities.
Just by going for like a 15 to 20 minute walk after a meal, it has a great impact on lowering our blood sugar levels and, of course, helps with digestion.
And Gaw reminds us to keep a healthy holiday party routine up throughout the entire month of December to stay on track for those New Year's resolutions, too. Virginia Van Zant, KCBS.
One of the most well-known creators of some of the most recognizable TV shows ever, like The Simpsons, now has a piece of Hollywood to call his own.
James L. Brooks moved to Hollywood in 1965 and began his writing career on a show TV Guide called the second worst series of all time behind the Jerry Springer Show. But after writing episodes for the Andy Griffith Show, That Girl, My Three Sons, and the Doris Day Show, Brooks created his first series in 1969, Room 222. And the following year, he created Mary Tyler Moore. Thursday, he was joined by several past show cast members in Hollywood, including Taxi's Danny DeVito.
You and I are now sharing real estate on Hollywood Boulevard, baby.
During the ceremony to dedicate his star on the Walk of Fame, Brooks had a look back on his long career.
There's no better job in the world than getting to work on a television series that's working, sitting in a writer's room where the only task is to make each other laugh.
Many people associate Brooks with his TV career with other shows like, of course, The Simpsons and Taxi, but many also forget the Best Director Oscar he won in 1984 for Terms of Endearment. I'm Larry Perrell.
It's 6:27. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hi, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. We all procrastinate. We put things off, confident we'll have time later. Well, one who procrastinates in choosing will inevitably have their choices made for them by circumstance. Could be an illness or even a death. And it happened to me. I was widowed at 41. It could happen to you. If you procrastinate and fail to plan for your future, for your children, circumstances and the courts will make your plans for you without your input. Eamon Gantner and Capriano help thousands of families plan for their future now. We can be your personal attorney too, guiding you with a will, trust, powers of attorney, Medicaid, and VA. You may delay, but time does not. Eamon Gantner and Capriano, yourestateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising. For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. Thanks to supporters like you, children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach incredible milestones. Please donate today at treeofhope.org.
It is 6:30, and right now in downtown St. Louis, it is warm compared to what it's going to be this weekend. It's cloudy and 32 degrees.
We'll get a check of the forecast in a moment. First, though, let's get an update on the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, getting out on the roadways and getting going on a Friday morning usually is not a big deal, and this morning certainly one of those times. I mean, they have road work going on southbound 55 at Rivas Barracks, a new midday project started up that's scheduled to run to about 2 this afternoon. The left lane closed it. Again, it is southbound 55 at Rivas, so it's not going to impact you much, and they'll wrap up by 2, so it won't impact the afternoon commute really either. It's the northbound side of 55, though, that's slow right now. Bayless up to River to Pear, we are seeing a slowdown there. It still looks okay on North 270 from 55 up through 44, both directions at Ladue. You're good to go. Still seeing that roadwork slow down on westbound 64 from Lake St. Louis Boulevard out to 70, and southbound 61, just that little slowdown south of Wentzville Parkway down to 64 or 70. Once you hit that point, though, you're good to go either of those routes across the Missouri River bridges, and still just a hint of a slowdown now in that work zone where the left lane's closed eastbound 64 passing Greenmount Road. Next update at 6:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Weather-wise, it is just going to get really cold, so well, we'll have some relief when the work week starts again. Today, 38 degrees, mostly cloudy. Tomorrow is when things start to change. Another round of snow could pass through, mainly to the north of the city. A high of 29, but the temperatures are going to be falling slowly throughout the afternoon. And by Sunday, despite bright sunshine, it's going to be just 16 degrees. Right now, it's 32 downtown.
It's 6:31. A call to the St. Louis Police Department about a domestic disturbance didn't warrant a high priority response until they were told a gun was involved hours later.
At the 911 center, we have to triage calls as they come in based off the information we know.
Police spokesman Mitch McCoy, he says they were unaware the victim was being held at gunpoint until she herself called. McCoy says after that, the priority was elevated and officers responded within 8 minutes.
There were many officers working in that district that night that we could have prioritized this call on a higher level, much faster, but we didn't have that information.
McCoy says it is false to assert the police department did not respond to an incident for hours knowing the victim was being held at gunpoint. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
An Illinois man gets 7 years in prison for scamming women in the St. Louis area and elsewhere. A judge also ordered 38-year-old Lignesh Kumar Patel to pay back the $2 million he stole from 11 victims in 5 states.
Police in University City in Edwardsville charged Patel last March with several counts of fraud. They say he tricked one woman into buying $150,000 in South African gold coins using her retirement savings. In another case, a victim paid Patel $50,000 in cash after he convinced the woman her ID had been used to create pornography. Prosecutors say Patel was serving as a money mule for a bigger international fraud conspiracy.
We've had to make the god-awful choice to close the doors.
That's Jeff Fitter, owner of Super Smokers Barbecue in Eureka. Their last day of service will be Sunday. He says it's been a really hard year with meat prices and labor costs way up, not to mention electricity, gas, and water.
As a restaurant, as a service provider, you can only charge so much before people either A, can't afford to come, or B, won't come because the costs are too high. It's not a good value proposition for them.
Fitter says the past 3 weeks, they haven't even broken even, and it's just not sustainable anymore.
This news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. We have your money report next. It's 6:34.
Hey guys, it's Glover. As you know, we have been raising money for Operation Food Surge over the past 7 years. Now we have a new way for you to give. Our friends over at Bissinger's Chocolates have created Dave's Faves, a collection of 7 of my favorite truffles. You can get them at Bissinger's. You can also get them online at bissingers.com. They're $20 a box. There are 7 of my favorite truffles in there, and all the money goes to Operation Food Surge. Help us out. Time is running out.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We're coming up on Christmas very quickly here. Christmas has been and always has been a religious holiday for a lot of people throughout the world. And if not religious, just a celebration for family and friends. It's also the time of year where, while you might be enjoying or you like the holidays, there's people that are suffering, which this time of year is a really, really hard time of year for them. There's people that are suffering this Christmas because this could be their first Christmas without their loved one, husband, wife, mother, father, child, or their second, third, fourth, 10th, 12th Christmas. So for every one of us that believe in God, and we do pray, remember that in your prayers daily, and hopefully that helps and makes a difference and makes it a little bit better in somebody's life that is suffering right now. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. God bless.
It is 6:35. This is Total Information AM. I'm Debbie Monterrey along with Megan Lynch, and we're going to check the roadways and the weather for you in 5 minutes. But first, your money report sponsored by Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Investors grappling with another AI disappointment. Broadcom suffered a stock slide after its sales outlook for the AI market failed to meet investors' expectations. The CEO also said the company has a backlog of $73 billion in AI product orders. Investors still looking for more clarity on when and how the company will get a payoff from AI. The S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Averages both coming off record closes. And the Russell 2000 Index of the smallest U.S. stocks, that jumped 1.2% to help lead the market. It also marked a record high. Goldman Sachs strategist, meantime, set a 7,600 target for the S&P 500 for next year. That implies 10% upside from Thursday's close. And Lululemon Athletica climbed almost 10%. The athleisure brand reported third quarter results that beat estimates, while also announcing the CEO would be stepping down. I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RAIN.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
In St. Louis, the weather can change in an instant. One day, you're under a thunderstorm warning. The next,
oh boy, it's snowing.
Stay prepared for whatever Mother Nature throws your way. When weather threatens, the KMOX Storm Center has expert forecasts and live reports here to keep you safe and informed. Don't get caught off guard. Know your weather. Sponsored by
Saliga Heating and Cooling. This holiday season, when you get them STIHL, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit STIHLUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from STIHL. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
The St. Louis University men's soccer team is heading to the College Cup, the Final Four of the NCAA tournament. The Pelicans face North Carolina State tonight. Catch all the action live starting at 7 p.m. on 104.1 FM KMOX.
6:40, time for a check of the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, if you're getting out, getting going this morning, it's still not bad for most folks, Megan. This traffic reports the service of Pine Valley Assisted Living. If you're on northbound Highway 55, there's just a little slow traffic right now north of Bayless up to River to Pear. They're working southbound 55 in the left lane past Revis Barracks, but it's not bothering anybody. North 270, north of Doherty Ferry to Manchester, and Clayton Road up to Ladue. Some slower traffic along that route right now. Westbound 64, still some slow stuff. Call it west of Lake St. Louis Boulevard, approaching Prospect, that vicinity. Again, just a roadwork slowdown on the westbound side. Eastbound there really doesn't look all that bad. And on the Illinois side, there's just a hint of a slowdown, a little busy as you head through Greenmount Road. They've got that left lane closed eastbound 64 there, of course, between 50 and 158. And other than roadwork just slowdowns, we really don't have any other issues out there. No problems on the highway so far for you this morning. Next update at 6:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Looking for a beautiful, all-inclusive place for your loved one? Happy holidays from Pine Valley Assisted Living. Secure a room between now and January 31st and take advantage of our move-in special. Enjoy affordable rates with absolutely no hidden fees. Experience the beautiful life at Pine Valley. Visit rspseniorliving.com today.
6:41, time to check in with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Joe Lundberg. Joe, I guess Sunday's not going to be the day to plan some outdoor activities.
No, I would not go cutting down the Christmas tree on Sunday because it's going to be really, really cold. In fact, the record low Sunday morning, Debbie, is 2 below zero from 1901. It's within reach. We're going to be well down in the single digits when you wake up Sunday morning. That's how cold this air mass is that's coming in this weekend. Lots of clouds today. Our high only goes up a few degrees to about 38. It'll remain cloudy and cold tonight with a low in the mid-20s. Tomorrow we get to the upper 20s in the morning and then start to backpedal as we go into the afternoon hours. Some snow will pass just to the north and east of the city. So if you're traveling in those areas, just expect some travel delays as a result of that, but it should all move away in the evening. Then the Arctic air really drills in tomorrow night. Nice and sunny for Sunday, but it is going to be cold. 16 for a high, single digit again Sunday night. Monday, mostly sunny, but the cold eases in the afternoon up to 44, and we could jump past 50 with sunshine on Tuesday. Right now, it's 33 at St. Peter's, and in Florissant, it's 34 and mainly cloudy downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Lots going on tonight on KMOX Sports-wise. We'll give you details of all of what's to come coming up in sports.
More news now at 6:42. Saturday's Powerball jackpot climbs to $1 billion. Correspondent Jesse Mitchell with details.
Saturday night's Powerball drawing could turn a lucky player into a billionaire for the holidays. The $1 billion prize is the 7th largest in the game's history, with an estimated cash value of more than $461 million.
President Trump may loosen federal restrictions on marijuana.
Marijuana is currently a Schedule I drug like LSD and heroin. Sources tell the Washington Post the president may issue an executive order reclassifying pot as a Schedule III drug, the same as some common prescription painkillers. Trump seemed to be on the fence when he was asked about it in August.
For pain and various things, I've heard some pretty good things, but
for other things, I've heard some pretty bad things.
The reclassification would make it easier to research marijuana's potential health benefits, but it would not decriminalize the drug at the federal level. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
With time running out to find a way to avoid healthcare costs increasing for millions of Americans, the Senate took up competing measures Thursday from Democrats and Republicans to address the issue. But as CBS's Erica Brown reports from Capitol Hill, lawmakers don't seem to be any closer to finding a solution.
Senators voted and rejected dueling healthcare proposals from both parties Thursday aimed at addressing rising costs. The COVID-era Affordable Care Act tax subsidies are set to expire by the end of the year, which means higher insurance premiums for millions of Americans.
Correspondent Natalie Brand reports on the pros and cons of a plant-based diet for children.
Parents who put their children on plant-based diets should be aware of the risk of deficiencies if key nutrients are not absorbed through fortified foods or supplements. Researchers in Italy, the U.S., and Australia say a vegan or vegetarian diet does support healthy growth and cardiovascular health, but children also had lower intakes of protein, fat, vitamin B12, and zinc.
Excitement building in Kansas City and other host locations for next year's World Cup, but governing body FIFA facing backlash from soccer fans over its ticket pricing for the big international tournament.
Soccer fans have accused FIFA of a monumental betrayal after the latest prices for World Cup tickets began to circulate. The governing body allocates 8% of tickets to national associations for games involving their team to sell to the most loyal fans. A list published by the German Soccer Federation revealed prices range from $180 to $700 for varying group stage games. The lowest price for the final was $4,185, and the highest was $8,680. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
Well, speaking of soccer, tonight the St. Louis University Billikens men's soccer team continues its push towards a national championship. The Billikens will face North Carolina State in the national semifinal. SLU is 13-2-8 and is on a 14-game unbeaten streak going into the College Cup. NC State 15-2-4. St. Louis is in the College Cup for the 17th time in program history, and they've reached the national semifinals for the first time since 1997 after advancing past Kentucky, Indiana, Bryant, and Akron in the tournament. The Billikens have trailed at half in 3 of those 4 games, and they've had to come back at some point in all of those 4 games. With a win in the semifinal, the Billikens would return to the national championship where they will face Furman or Washington, and that semifinal takes place at 5 p.m. Central tonight. Tonight's Billikens game can be heard here on KMOX, beginning with a pregame at 7 o'clock tonight. Also tonight on KMOX, beginning at 6 o'clock, you can hear a salute to the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney. 2025 marked John Rooney's 20th year in the broadcast booth for the Redbirds. And in the hour-long special, Rooney talks about calling back-to-back World Series titles in 2005 for the White Sox and then coming to the Cardinals for 2006. He also speaks on the 2011 World Series, calling Albert Pujols' 700th home run, that is, and more. The show features interviews and highlights from Rooney's career. Before the 2025 football season comes to a close, Mizzou has announced its 2026 football schedule, which includes a 9-game SEC schedule for the first time. The Tigers open September 5th at home against Arkansas Pine Bluff. They'll travel to Kansas in week 2. Mizzou faces Florida at Faurot Field October 3rd. That is the annual homecoming game. The Tigers will also play Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma at home in the SEC season. The Blues took one on the chin last night in Nashville, coming up on the wrong side of a 7-2 decision. The Predators scored 4 times in the second period. Steven Stamkos scored 4 times in the game for Nashville. One bright spot for the Blues, rookie Hugh McGee picked up his first NHL goal in the game.
The rookie out of the corner. Broberg slides over, and he will probe into the corner. So that's the quick move. They score. The puck bounced right to the open man, Hugh McGee. And McGee is able to pick up his first NHL goal, so they'll grab the puck for him.
That's courtesy of the Predators and FanDuel Sports Network. The Blues are back home tonight. They'll face the Blackhawks at Enterprise Center. The puck drops at 7 o'clock. Next sports update is 7:15. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
When you retire, the paycheck from your job will likely stop. But here's what won't stop: bills, taxes, and medical issues. Sure, there's Social Security, but that may not be enough. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group can show you potential ways to develop a new stream of income that can last as long as you live. Kind of like having your own personal pension. You won't have to worry about whether the market is up or down or who's sitting in the White House. You can spend your time instead on the things that matter, like family, friends, and doing the things you never had time to do before. Call Steve All today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 and schedule a custom income review at no charge. Or find us online at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefits Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. TSO, timeless and everlasting. Don't miss the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Lost Christmas Eve, produced by Live Nation. For more details, KMOX.com/events.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's 6:50. Let's see how things are moving on the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, so far so good, Megan. It's a pretty easy Friday morning to start you off. A little busy, but it's not bad. This traffic reports the service of Financial and Tax Strategies. Northbound 55 looks good. Coming down through the Festus area, just a little bit of a slowdown north of Bayless up through River de Pere. It's still a little slow. North 270, right as you approach Manchester, and then north of there, the right lane's bogged down all the way up into the work zone at Ladue. Westbound 64, better. There's just a hint of a slowdown west Prospect now. So before it was Lake St. Louis Boulevard, just a little slow past Prospect. Southbound 61 looks okay. Eastbound 70, just a little busy right through the Bryan Road area. Southbound 170, the ramp getting onto eastbound 64, a little busy over in Richmond Heights. And again, just a little bit of a congestion there on eastbound 64 approaching Greenmount Road. Next update at 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Retirement shouldn't feel like balancing a checkbook while blindfolded. I'm Gary Goldberg, and my team helps you see the big picture so you can retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Because guessing is not a strategy. Tune in to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
The news continues at 6:51. It's been 2 weeks now since historic abandoned warehouses on the riverfront near downtown burned. One homeless person remains missing. Police Department spokesperson Mitch McCoy told our partners at Fox 2.
We are analyzing debris from that fire. I was notified today that it has been sent to the ATF lab in Washington, D.C. for forensic review.
A St. Louis County man facing charges of hitting a traffic control employee at a concert and taking off. The victim working at the factory Sunday when he was knocked out. A truck hit him so hard it took the side mirror off. He was treated at a local hospital. The suspect, Julian Wharton, was taken into custody the next day. He says he hit a cone and that's what damaged his mirror. He's been charged with a felony, leaving the scene of an accident that caused injury.
End-of-year tax bills are going out across Missouri, and some property owners may disagree with some of the items listed or expect to see things that are not listed. David Broderson is president of the Missouri County Collectors Association. He says if there's a problem with your tax bill, contact your local tax collector.
And review that with them and see if they can, figure out what's going on there, if there is a mistake or what is going on there. That's for sure.
Broderson says some counties may levy a special assessment for some services like lawn mowing and cleanup fees for houses that become uninhabitable.
Remember the story about the trashed raccoon in the South? We've got a follow-up.
Turns out the raccoon that tore through a Virginia liquor store and passed out after a booze-fueled rampage wasn't a first-time offender.
This is like the third break-in he's had.
Animal protection officer Samantha Martin, who responded to the scene of the ABC store, tells the Here in Hanover podcast.
He was in the karate studio. I think he got into DMV, ate some of their snacks.
And she expects the frisky little critter could be back for more fun and games.
We don't relocate him because that's a death sentence for raccoons.
But Martin understands.
He didn't do anything wrong. He was just having a good time.
Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
All of the publicity has actually helped the website bombfire.com sell $180,000 worth of smashed raccoon t-shirts. The proceeds go to Hanover's Animal Protection Department.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement. It's your birthday.
And today's KMOX birthday shout-out sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family-owned and top-rated, RennerDoorSTL.com. Celebrity birthdays for this December 12th include singer Dionne Warwick, 85 years old today. Hall of Fame race car driver Emerson Fittipaldi is 79. Gymnast actor Kathy Rigby is 73. And actor Jennifer Connelly, 55.
Local celebrity birthdays include a duo. Mary Jean Hale Fisher celebrating today. Tomorrow, it's Justin Kiewakowski. And happy 5th birthday, Audrey Rose from Poppy and Grandma.
This is the best birthday ever.
The holidays are here, filled with laughter, family, and memories. But if you're missing the punchline, the conversation, or even the music, it might be time to check your hearing. Hi, I'm Charlie Brennan.
I'm Dr. Bosler with the Audiology Center.
And I'm Dr. Voss. This season, we want you to hear every moment.
Hearing aids today can process sound faster than before. They're smarter at separating the speech from the background noise, meaning that when you're at the holiday parties this season, you'll hear the voices that you want to hear, clearer than before.
So don't wait until the new year. Give yourself the gift of better hearing today and reconnect with the people and the moments that matter most.
Call the Audiology Center, 636-441-7470, or online, theaudiologycenterstl.com. 3 convenient locations.
Call us today and make this holiday season better than last year's. Here for the holidays. Here for life.
Bet the game day action right from your phone. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app now. Use code RADIOMO. Place your first bet of $5 or more and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Open to new users in Missouri who are 21 or older. First wager after registration must qualify and win. And bonus bets expire 30 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promotions or the promotions tab on the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100. And I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
I'm Roger Brand, and this is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
More adults who get food assistance now have to prove they're working. That includes people ages 55 to 64, former foster youth, and people who are homeless. I'm Sam Whitehead, and this is your KFF Health News Minute. President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act also says those who miss deadlines for reporting work hours could lose benefits for years. At least 2.4 million people could lose food benefits in the next decade because of the changes. But the law's supporters argue the rules fight waste, fraud, and abuse. A top vaccine panel has ended the decades-long recommendation that all newborns get a hepatitis B shot. But many doctors say that could leave lots of kids vulnerable to the incurable virus, which can lead to liver cancer. Pediatrician Sean O'Leary.
Babies can still get it from people in their own household.
Like through indirect contact. Sharing a toothbrush can be enough to spread it. There's more at kffhealthnews.org.
Let's get the latest on your ride into work with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
No, Megan, we got a minor crash right now on the exit from southbound 270 getting off at the Rock Road. It's in the exit lane, the left-hand exit lane. That's a 2-lane ramp, so you can get around it okay. I'm not seeing any delays back onto the highway. The ramp's a little slow, but there's no backup interstate-wise that's impacting you there. Northbound 270, just slow stuff. North of Manchester in the right lanes primarily up through 64 and Ladue. Northbound 55, a crash on the shoulder at Rivas Barracks, not slowing anybody down. In fact, the slowdown we had between Bayless and River to Paris than that as well. And we do have just a little bit of a delay eastbound 64, about midway in from 50 through Green Mountain Road. It's heavy in the construction area. Next update at 7:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Today is Friday. It is December the 12th. I'm Debbie Monterrey, and these are the stories making news.
I'm Sean Malone. A downtown charter school must remain closed, but now for a new reason. I'll tell you why coming up.
I'm Megan Lynch. A fatal crash overnight shuts down a section of Interstate 55 in South St. Louis.
This is Brad Choate at the airport.
We've seen some crazy things.
TSA agents say they'll reject potentially dangerous items from carry-on travel. Details in just a bit.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. A cold day today with lots of clouds and a high of 38.
I'm Joe Pott. We'll hear from Blues head coach Jim Montgomery and his assessment after another lopsided loss for the Blues. That's coming up in sports.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition, sponsored by CVS Health.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Days of heavy rain have pushed rivers to record flood levels north of Seattle.
I moved here in 2013, and this is the worst I've ever seen it, and it's scary.
More than 100,000 people have now been forced from their homes. CBS's Carter Evans is in Mount Vernon.
Across western Washington, rivers rising to historic levels left people stranded on their roofs near the Canadian border. The Coast Guard flew in by helicopter to rescue them. At 10 feet above flood stage, the town of Hamilton was inundated with water, nearly reaching rooftops. More than a dozen rivers overflowing their banks have trapped residents in their homes, submerged vehicles, and forced road closure.
In Baltimore this morning, supporters outside an ICE field office where Kilmar Obrega Garcia arrived to check in with immigration officials 14 hours after he was released from detention. Following a judge's ruling, he'd been detained without legal authority. Abrego Garcia addressed the crowd through an interpreter.
I stand here today with my head held up high, and I will continue to fight and stand firm against all of the injustices this government has done upon me.
A federal judge has just issued a temporary restraining order blocking immigration officials from detaining Abrego Garcia again. President Trump may be ready to loosen federal restrictions on pot. CBS's Michael Wallace.
Marijuana is currently a Schedule I drug like LSD and heroin. Sources tell the Washington Post the president may issue an executive order reclassifying pot as a Schedule III drug, the same as some common prescription painkillers. Trump seemed to be on the fence when he was asked about it in August.
For pain and various things, I've heard some pretty good things, but for other things, I've heard some pretty bad things.
The earth shook near San Francisco. A gas explosion tore apart a home and damaged others near Hayward. At least 6 people were injured. Deborah Amatoy lives nearby.
I was in bed and I heard this loud sound and my roof fell in. On the bed, everywhere, all on me, all the junk. So I covered myself and I called my husband thinking, did we have an earthquake? What was that?
The local utility says it got a report that a contractor damaged a gas line. An odds-defying comeback victory in San Moritz.
Look at the time! Lindsey Vonn now! He's absolutely flying! History in the making!
41-year-old Vonn has become the oldest woman ever to win a World Cup race. She sped to the top spot in the first downhill race of the season in Switzerland today. It was her first victory in almost 8 years and the first since she got titanium implants in her right knee. This is CBS News.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
It's a classic odor tale. You've had fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an 8+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-497-0593. That's 800-497-0593. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At 7:04, we have cloudy skies, 34 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, December 12th. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey. One person is dead, several more injured following an overnight crash in South St. Louis. City police say it happened around midnight on North I-55 near South Broadway. The interstate shut down for several hours for investigators to complete their work. No names released.
St. Louis Voices Academy, a downtown charter school that was shut down after a student wandered off, receives an update whether or not it can reopen.
The school must remain closed and continue virtual learning, according to a letter submitted to them by the Charter School Commission. The issues is staffing concerns. The first of which, the school has not provided sufficient information to determine if they have enough staff to serve the number of students enrolled. The other staffing issue adds to the safety concerns that have plagued the school. According to the letter, names of employees who are on the safety plan submitted to the commission are not listed on their active roster. The letter says the school cannot reopen until all issues in this and previous letters are addressed. The security reassessment of the school found the school has taken corrective actions in order to reopen. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Homicide detectives are working a case in Tower Grove South. St. Louis City Police say a fatal shooting happened around 3 Thursday afternoon in the 3700 block of Winnebago. We do know a man died, but they have not released his name.
A Chicago man headed to prison for scamming elderly women in 11 states, including people in the St. Louis area.
38-year-old Lignesh Kumar Patel was sentenced Thursday to 7 years in prison on multiple fraud counts. Prosecutors say he was a money mule for an international fraud ring involving at least 85 victims. One of them was an Edwardsville woman who Patel tricked into buying $150,000 in South African gold coins with her retirement savings. Another woman in University City was convinced her identity had been used to create pornography. The only way out, paying Patel $50,000 in cash. Authorities say Patel personally visited 11 elderly women in 5 states, collecting more than $2 million. He's been ordered to pay it back. Scott Jagal, KMOX News.
It's a busy time of year at U.S. airports, and the Transportation Security Administration wants you to get through checkpoints safely and efficiently.
This is Brad Choate at Lambert St. Louis International Airport. TSA agents are doing their yearly holiday season blitz, warning travelers about items not allowed in carry-ons.
Snow globes are not allowed because of the liquid that's in there, and it's the size of the snow globe actually, because you can have they have smaller snow globes that's allowed through the checkpoint, but we prefer that you send any kind of snow globes, put them in your check bags.
Agent Sharon says also to not wrap presents ahead of time. Wait till you get to your destination.
If you're shopping at West County Mall, you may see a unique vending machine. It's the St. Louis Giving Machine. There are choices from 5 local nonprofits for you to help. 100% of your donation made at the Giving Machine is given directly to the charity of your choice.
From the business desk sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, Ford Motor Company has stepped up technology in its popular F-150 pickup to counteract ever-evolving techniques car thieves have at their disposal. It is the latest move that the automaker hopes will help customers avoid the costly and frustrating process that occurs when vehicles are swiped.
It includes a feature that won't allow the pickups to start even if key fobs are present. Owners can use Ford's Start Inhibit to disable their F-150's engine from a smartphone. The pickup was in the top 10 of most stolen models over the first half of 2025. Ford Secure General Manager Christian Moran says there are a lot of F-150s on the road, and thieves like pickups.
Coming up, we're going to check the weather for you and the roadways. It's going to get bitterly cold as we head into the weekend. Details just ahead.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-990-1551. That's 800-990-1551.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It's 7:10. Let's head back to the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center. Roger Brown, how's it look?
Well, we look okay out there, really, for the most part, Megan. I'm looking at an incident right now, northbound 55. We had a report of a crash earlier around Rivas, but I think this is different because we had a report of a ladder in the highway a few minutes ago, north 55 around Green Park in that construction area, and a bunch of cars have struck it and gotten flat tires, at least 6 or 7 cars, and I can see them all lined up on the shoulder here, but they do have the right lane closed, north 55, just immediately north of Rivas Barracks, so pay attention. Hopefully they have that ladder picked up, but if not, you don't want to hit that thing, or because either, like I said, at least half dozen, 6, 7 cars have hit it and gotten flat tires. So a little bit of a delay through Green Park and then just past Rivas where that right lane is closed. Other than that, on the Missouri side of the river, things look great. I don't see any roadwork slowdowns in the other construction zones like 55 north of Bales, 270 around Ladue. Everything looks fine. We do have still that roadwork backup, though, in Illinois, eastbound 64 on the brakes, east of 50 through Greenmount Road. It opens up just a little east of there. Next update at 7:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, mostly cloudy and cold today, high 38. Remaining cloudy and cold tonight, low 25. Tomorrow, cloudy and very cold. It'll become breezy. Look for another round of snow to pass mainly north of the city, ending during the early evening hours. The high tomorrow, 29, but temperature will slowly fall in the afternoon. For Sunday, sunshine returns, but it will be brisk and bitterly cold, the high just 16. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, we've got cloudy skies, 32 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
I'm Joe Pott. The Blues had a tough one, but there was a bright spot, and I'll tell you about that coming up in sports.
It's 7:12. Medical coverage for thousands of people with United Healthcare Insurance in Missouri and Illinois could be in jeopardy. UHC and SSM Health are at odds over a new contract, each blaming the other. If no deal is made, SSM hospitals, facilities, and doctors will be out of network starting January 1st.
A new study looked at a link between mRNA COVID COVID-19 vaccines and a condition affecting the heart called myocarditis. We get the latest from KMOX health editor Fred Bottomer.
Stanford Cardiovascular Institute Director Joseph Wu says the myocarditis cases are very rare and the benefits of the vaccine far outweigh the risks.
I just want to reiterate that the vaccine itself is very, very safe, and we would advocate patients get vaccinated. The risk of the COVID, because the COVID can cause damage to all the different organs in the body and could cause death, is much higher than the risk of the COVID vaccine that could cause myocarditis.
Cases of myocarditis after getting a COVID shot were more prevalent in young males. Researchers think it's possible that estrogen has a protective effect. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
Counties across Missouri are sending out tax bills as the end of the year approaches. Some property owners may have questions about unexpected items that may be mistakes. David Broderson is president of the Missouri County Collectors Association. He says some cities in his county levy special fees for certain things.
Lawn mowing fees and cleanup fees. If a house burns down and they have to clean it up, they will put a special assessment on the tax statements that I collect for them, but that varies by county.
He says if you have questions about any items on your tax bill, to contact your local tax collector's office.
The Blues Brothers was, of course, filmed in the Chicago area. Word today that the old Joliet prison will host a baseball game featuring the Joliet Slammers. That's coming up April 30th of next year. Greg Pierbolt, CEO of the Joliet Area Historical Museum, says the former prison continues to attract interest more than 20 years after it closed.
This link with pop culture, it goes back a very long way. Certainly speaks to the interest we get and the visitorship we get from people all around the world who are just fascinated by this place.
Inmates played baseball at Joliet Prison for nearly 100 years until it closed in 2002. There's still a baseball diamond in the prison courtyard.
Reddit is suing the Australian government over its new law banning social media accounts for children under 16.
The internet message board site argues the ban infringes on children's rights to political communication. Reddit is one of 10 social media platforms, along with Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, that now have to set 16 as the minimum age for account holders. Mark Butler is Australia's health minister.
The idea that this is some action by Reddit to protect the political freedoms of young people is a complete crock.
Australian officials say the ban will protect younger kids from the sexual exploitation and mental health issues linked to social media. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
It is 7:15.
Well, Steven Stamkos scored 4 times for the Predators as the Blues dropped a 7-2 contest in Nashville Thursday night. It was 2-0 Nashville going to the second period. 4 minutes into the period, a nice moment for Blues rookie Hugh McGing.
The rookie out of the corner. Broberg slides over, and he will probe into the corner. That's it. Oh, a quick move. They score. The puck bounced right to the open man, Hugh McGing. And McGing is able to pick up his first NHL goal. So they'll grab the puck for him.
That's courtesy of the Predators and FanDuel Sports Network. The former Blue, Ryan O'Reilly, added his 10th goal of the year to make it 3-1. And Nashville goes on to score 3 times in less than 4 minutes in that second period. That opens up a 5-1 lead. It was 6-2 Nashville going to the third, and the Predators added a power play goal in the third for the 7-2 final. Jordan Binnington played the first 2 periods. He allowed 6 of Nashville's 7 goals before being replaced by Joel Hofer. Blues have now dropped 4 of 6. Rookie Hugh McGing talked about his first NHL goal after the game.
Yeah, it felt good, honestly. Dream about scoring in the NHL, so it finally came, felt good. But yeah, obviously would like to get a win.
Take us through the play and how it developed.
Broberg was just, a couple cutbacks in the corner. I popped out to the slot area, tried to pass it to me, went to Fabry in front of the net, made a beautiful pass to me, and I just one-timed it in.
Meanwhile, Blues head coach Jim Montgomery said the team has been too soft recently.
The last 2 games, we've been not hard enough at either net front. We don't get there too on the inside. That's where good teams in the NHL score goals, screening the goalie and having 2 guys whacking away at rebounds like you saw them score 3 or 4 times tonight. And we're not boxing out at our net front. The physicality and our D-zone coverage the last 2 games has really dissipated.
Robbie Fabry played in his first game back with the Blues, and he picked up an assist on McGing's goal. Montgomery liked what he saw from his forward.
I loved his habits and details. Like he was at the net front screening. He got his assist being at the net front, passing it over to Hugh. He was finishing checks. He was winning wall battles. All those little things that help your team have success.
Can his habits, what you saw tonight, maybe resonate with the rest of the group when they see a new guy come in and doing those?
Yeah, you see the infectious. You hope that it'll be infectious throughout our lineup. And, we got an opportunity to regroup tomorrow night against the Hawks, our biggest rival. So we look forward to tomorrow night at home.
It is the Blues and Blackhawks tonight at Enterprise Center. Puck drops at 7 o'clock. That's the start of 4 in a row at home for the Blues. They'll see the Predators again on Monday night at Enterprise Center. Next sports update is 7:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
KMOX has just learned that there's been a shooting at the Kirkwood City Council meeting tonight.
There, when headlines hit home.
And our own Michael Calhoun from the KMOX newsroom is in Kirkwood. Michael, what's going on?
Sources say it was an African-American male who walked in and started firing in the middle of the city council meeting.
The first gunshots rang out about 7 in the evening at the Kirkwood Police Department, directed at an officer.
He was leaving the building. He was outside in an adjacent parking lot when he was approached by a suspect who shot him and killed him.
John Butler was here from the KMOX newsroom.
John, we just got word from our people at that command center, and 7 people were shot tonight.
Kirkwood is a community of friends, neighbors. This is a tragedy of untold magnitude.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
We're coming up on Christmas very quickly here. Christmas has been and always has been a religious holiday for a lot of people throughout the world. And if not religious, just a celebration for family and friends. It's also the time of year where, while you might be enjoying or you like the holidays, there's people that are suffering, which this time of year is a really, really hard time of year for them. There's people that are suffering this Christmas because this could be their first Christmas without their loved one, husband, wife, mother, father, child, or their second, third, fourth, 10th, 12th Christmas. So for every one of us that believe in God, and we do pray, remember that in your prayers daily, and hopefully that helps and makes a difference and makes it a little bit better in somebody's life that is suffering right now. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. God bless.
Your morning news and information. Total Information AM.
It is 7:20. Let's see how things are moving on the roads. Roger Brand joins us from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center. How's it look, Roger?
Well, on the highway's not bad, Megan. Friday mornings tend to be lighter, so we're doing pretty well. I mean, if you're on northbound 55, there's barely a slowdown at 67. A little bit of a backup, though, as you pass Rivas Barracks. Again, the right lane is shut down just north of Rivas. We had a bunch of vehicles strike a ladder in the highway and caused a bunch of cars to get flat tires, so that's a little jam there. And after that, it's still slow Bayless up to River to Pear. North 270 a little slow approaching Highway 30, Gravois, and eastbound 30 has a couple of spots where it's busy between West Watson and 270. North 270 after that, just a little slow at Manchester. Eastbound 70 through Highway Z to 64. Those right lanes are a little slow, but east of there, 64 and 70 both look great coming out of St. Charles County. And we have this roadwork jam on the Illinois side getting a little longer. Eastbound 64 bumper to bumper just east of 50 past Greenmount Road. Next update at 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is mostly cloudy today. It's going to be 38 degrees. And then tomorrow is when the chill begins. We'll have a high of 29 degrees, but temperatures will start falling through the afternoon. And we could see another round of maybe some snow to the north of the city. But by Sunday, nothing but sunshine and cold temperatures. 16 degrees will be our high on Sunday. Currently, it's 32 downtown.
And the weather is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. It's a win-win, so what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
It has been 2 weeks since the historic warehouses burned near downtown St. Louis. One homeless person remains missing. Police Department spokesperson Mitch McCoy told our partners at Fox 2.
We are analyzing debris from that fire.
I was notified today that it is been sent to the ATF lab in Washington, D.C. for forensic review.
The mayor increasing police patrols in Riverview after swastikas and threats were spray painted on city property and churches. Mayor Mike Cornell says the FBI has been notified that in the past 6 months, there have been KKK and hate messages left overnight. Cornell says his community is on high alert and asks anyone who sees anything suspicious to call and report it.
The power of artificial intelligence now extends to political opinions.
2 new studies show that AI chatbots can significantly influence what people think about political issues, even after just a brief exchange. Gordon Pennycook is a psychologist at Cornell University and one of the lead researchers who worked on a study on AI and political influence.
We prompted it to try to convince the person to vote for a particular candidate, Trump, Harris, whoever. And what we found is that it's really quite persuasive. It has much larger effects than you'd expect, given typical advertisements or the things that normally happen in the political milieu that we exist.
But while Pennycook says AI is very good at providing a lot of arguments and evidence to persuade political views, that evidence is, in some cases, not true. Chris Sedens for WWJ News Radio 950.
It's something that's been tried in St. Louis occasionally over the past 2 decades. Community leaders in San Francisco are partnering this weekend with police to get guns off city streets. Correspondent Lauren Tom says United Players is hosting a gun buyback event. She spoke with members of the group about how these buybacks can really make a difference.
Rudy Corpus doesn't just work to stop gun violence, he's lived it. He grew up just blocks away in San Francisco's Tenderloin, where he says he was shot twice years ago. He says back then he carried 2 guns himself. Now those same weapons are what he's trying to take off the streets.
These are something that, was used against me and people I love and I know.
This weekend, Rudy and United Players are hosting a gun buyback offering cash in exchange for firearms like these.
Those are the guns that we're talking about that are left unlocked in the house, loaded with kids in it, or in the cars, right, that are loaded. And you just could take it. You never know who's going to break into that car.
At each buyback, Rudy says about 250 to 300 guns are turned in, traded for up to $200. He's hosted dozens of these events before and says the impact can be felt on the streets. But this time, the stakes became painfully real just weeks ago when a teen in his own youth outreach program was shot at Burton High School in San Francisco.
This young kid was actually a part of helping out the gun buyback. He was passing out flyers. So he got shot about something that he was trying to prevent. 3 days before he had got shot, I was on the phone with him writing a college letter for him. He asked me to write a college letter for him to put on a letterhead. And so when I got the phone call and his mom and his sister was calling me crying and screaming, I was scared.
Police say the shooting was an isolated incident and a suspect was taken into custody. But the shooting sent shockwaves through the community and was a wake-up call for others in the program like Keenan's friend Kene, who says this work is more important than ever.
Makes me feel worried for the community.
San Francisco police say citywide gun violence is trending in the right direction. Homicides are down 15% compared to last year. But interim police chief Paul Yep says progress doesn't mean the work is done.
Shootings are down and homicides are at a 70-year low. We will not rest until we have brought justice to these victims.
And while statistics matter for Rudy, it's the outcome on the streets that matter more.
They're very effective. I wouldn't be doing it and if I didn't think it was, because to me, one gun off the streets is one gun that would not harm or hurt anybody.
San Francisco police say all of the guns will ultimately be destroyed.
Some researchers at the University of Vienna analyzed the lyrics from every single Billboard Hot 100 hit dating back to 1973. That is more than 20,000 songs, and found that, yes, pop music is getting more depressing.
They determined that lyrics have become simpler and more negative over the years, which matches increasing social rates of depression and anxiety. Lyrics briefly became a bit more positive, but only during the pandemic and for a while after 9/11.
It is now 7:27, and the time check sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
LeafFilterRadio.com. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. This holiday season, you can be the reason children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach milestones once thought impossible. Your gift provides life-saving care to those who need it most. Please donate today at treeofhope.org and be the reason a child has hope for tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. The wait is over, and we are now selling at the Reserve at Wildwood. The early bird gets the worm, so call today and pick the home of your dreams at the coveted Wildwood Town Center, located at Highway 100 and 109. You will love the design of the Reserve with its extensive trails and wooded common ground. In a park-like setting, select from our popular Liberty or luxurious designer series homes from the 560s. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
At 7:29, we have cloudy skies, 34 degrees at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey. We need to get you caught up on traffic and weather. The forecast for the weekend is very, very cold. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, let's see how your Friday commute is. If you've just headed out the door, bundle up and listen to Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, if you're traveling up on northbound Highway 55, you look good this morning down in the Festus area. No problems there. We do have this little jam up right through Rivas Barracks where the right lane is closed because a bunch of vehicles struck a ladder earlier and suffered flat tires. So a little jam up there, and then it's slow north of there. So Bayless up through Virginia's kind of busy. North 270 bogs down both sides of Gravois. It's a little slow in a couple of spots approaching Manchester up to Ladue. Not that bad, and it's more so the right lanes through there, obviously. Eastbound 64 coming in through Winghaven, just a little busy right now. At the Interbelt, though, you still look okay. Lewis and Clark at Jennings Station, we have a crash. Looks like we got traffic backed up. Maybe a train crossing, but there are delays right around Granite City Steel between 162 and there. It's backed up more so northbound or westbound than it is eastbound. And of course, we have a road work backup on eastbound 64 east of 50 past Greenmount Road. Next update at 7:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's going to be mostly cloudy and cold today. We're expecting a high of 38 degrees, cloudy and cold tonight with an overnight low of 25. For tomorrow, breezy conditions, still cloudy, very cold, and we could see another round of snow pass through. We're expecting a high of 29 degrees by Sunday. We may see some sunshine, but it's going to be bitterly cold. The coldest day so far this winter. Expect a high of just 16 degrees. Right now, we have 33 degrees in St. Peter's, 34 in Florissant, and 34 degrees downtown at the Arch.
The St. Louis City Police Department says the rumor is false that it took them 2 hours to respond to 911 calls about a woman being held at gunpoint.
The incident occurred Saturday evening where neighbors initially called 911 about a domestic disturbance involving a man and woman screaming at each other. Police spokesman Mitch McCoy says 27 calls came in between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. and had the initial calls about the domestic disturbance alerted them the woman was being held at gunpoint. The incident would have been a higher priority.
If there was any information that came in that said that there was a gun involved, if a woman was being held at gunpoint, that would have immediately initiated a quicker, faster response.
McCoy says after the call from the victim notified them she was being held at gunpoint, police responded within 8 minutes. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
An Illinois man gets 7 years in prison for scamming elderly women in the St. Louis area and elsewhere. A judge also ordered 38-year-old Lignesh Kumar Patel to pay back the $2 million he stole from 11 victims in 5 states.
Police in University City and Edwardsville charged Patel last March with several counts of fraud. They say he tricked one woman into buying $150,000 in South African gold coins using her retirement savings. In another case, a victim said paid Patel $50,000 in cash after he convinced the woman her ID had been used to create pornography. Prosecutors say Patel was serving as a money mule for a bigger international fraud conspiracy.
A customer at a Hardee's in Missouri got more than he ordered when he walked into a restaurant with no employees in sight. Food was left still cooking, cheese and condiments left out, and no one was working the counter. So customer Ryan Eggers called 911.
My wife was craving a hot ham and cheese melt, and I went to Hardee's, waited for about 10 minutes, and nobody showed up. In all my life, I've never encountered a situation such as this. I figured something was off, but you never know anymore.
Police did show up and later learned there was reportedly a dispute among employees, and everyone just walked out mid-shift. No crime, no injuries, just one very confused drive-through situation.
I want to know if he made himself the ham and cheese melt.
You know,
get behind
wouldn't
the
you want to
counter.
just jump over the counter?
I mean,
Forget it. My
no-
wife is hungry.
No one minds. It is 7:33, and coming up, we've got your Money Minute from Bloomberg. Stay with us here on Total Information AM.
Hey guys, it's Glover. As you know, we have been raising money for Operation Food Surge over the past 7 years. Now we have a new way for you to give. Our friends over at Bissinger's Chocolates have created Dave's Faves, a collection of 7 of my favorite truffles. You can get them at Bissinger's. You can also get them online at bissingers.com. They're $20 a box. There are 7 of my favorite truffles in there, and all the money goes to Operation Food Surge. Help us out. Time is running out.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Great news, Nick. Legacy boxes are still in stock. With Christmas just around the corner, there's still time to buy the best Christmas gift ever. Legacy Box.
That's right, Adam. Order today and Legacy Box ships immediately. It'll arrive ready to wrap and place under the tree.
Gather the family together this Christmas and collect all your old VHS and camcorder tapes, slides, pictures, and film reels. Then you can binge on the good old days.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your memories aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. Legacy Box helps you replay those great moments from the past, from Christmas morning to your wedding day.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
This Christmas is the time to digitize. Visit legacybox.com/value for exclusive holiday savings. That's legacybox.com/value for last-minute shopping. legacybox.com/value.
It is 7:35. It's time for your Money Minute from Bloomberg, and it's sponsored this hour by Busey Bank.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Well, President Trump is expected to direct his administration to move to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. Cannabis is currently a Schedule 1 substance, and the president pushing to move it to Schedule 3 on the same level as Tylenol with codeine. The S&P 500, the Dow, and the Russell 2000 Index are the smallest stocks, all begin the session at all-time highs. Not taking part in the recent rally, though, tech stocks, and they could be under pressure once again after another AI-related company disappointed investors. The chipmaker Broadcom's outlook for AI revenue failed to meet investors' lofty expectations. And Oracle's stock rout wiped out almost $25 billion from Larry Ellison's wealth, knocking him down one notch to third place on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Don't feel too bad. He's still $94.9 billion wealthier than just a year ago. I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
This is the Let's Revitalize Our Neighborhoods commitment. This is the Roll Up Our Sleeves and Pitch In commitment. This is Busey, where our commitment to strengthen our communities is a top priority. Through energetic, engaged volunteers, through monetary support, community leadership, and advocacy. Because Busey is more than a bank that does well, we're a bank that does good. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth, since 1868. Member FDIC.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your holiday with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. For your inner child and your grown-up cravings, the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
It is now 7:37, and the news continues on KMOX. A new study looked at a link between mRNA COVID-19 vaccines and a condition affecting the heart called myocarditis. We get more from Fred Bottomer.
Stanford Cardiovascular Institute Director Joseph Wu says the myocarditis cases are very rare and the benefits of the vaccine far outweigh the risks.
I just want to reiterate that the vaccine itself is very, very safe, and we would advocate patients get vaccinated. The risk of the COVID, because the COVID can cause damage to all the different organs in the body and could cause death, is much higher than the risk of the COVID vaccine that could cause myocarditis.
Cases of myocarditis after getting a COVID shot were more prevalent in young males. Researchers think it's possible that estrogen has a protective effect. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
It is 7:38, and if you're looking for something to do this weekend where you can be inside where it's warm, how about Central Library? Because St. Louis Public Library's Film Festival 2025 is Saturday in their auditorium, and they invite you to watch all of the submissions, well, the selected submissions, and then they're actually going to pick the winner with an award ceremony later that afternoon. There's documentaries, experimental films, narrative films, all done here in the St. Louis area. So go to slpl.org for more information on that. And if you're looking for the library lover in your life, a good gift, did you know that SLPL has an online store with hats, mugs, totes, notebooks, and so much more, plus a hand-blown glass ornament of Central Library. And if you're heading to the library, drop off your food items as well. In partnership with the St. Louis Area Food Bank, they're doing the MLK Food Drive now through January 31st. It is St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine. Find them online at slpl.org.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com during the Genesis Signature event. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
Attention business owners with a net income over $500,000. You need to work with a tax strategist that understands your entrepreneurial mindset. Download the most recent white paper written by E3 Consultants Group titled The Power of a Professional Tax Strategy Team. Go to e3wealth.com/radio to obtain a copy. It's time to learn about wealth and tax strategies that protect your personal and business economy. E3 is ready to help you think differently about your finances. Educate, empower, enlighten. That's the E3 difference.
Saturday night, it's men's Billikens basketball as they take on San Francisco. Pre-game 6:45, tip at 7 on your home for Billikens basketball. 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's 7:40. It's been a fairly easy Friday morning. Let's make sure that's still the case out there on the roads. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, we're at our peak time for the rush hour, though it would normally be pretty hectic, Megan, but not so bad this morning. Like you said, if you're on northbound 55, it's a little slow into 67. We still have this little heavy stretch passing Revis. The right lane's closed there. Up across River to Pear through Loughborough is kind of slow. North 270, let's call it north of Big Bend up to Ladue, slow. South 270 to Olive, just midway down to Ladue, a little busy. Out west, things look good on eastbound 70 and eastbound 64. 64 is slow, though, right through the Interbelt briefly, and westbound 64 actually busier. Running from Hampton all the way out through McKnight. We have a crash right there near McKnight, westbound 64, so that's a problem on that one. And then downtown, westbound 64, just a little slow approaching Route 3 to the Poplar, and eastbound 64, east of 50, past Greenmount Road, midway into 158, pretty backed up in that construction zone. Next update at 7:50 from the Overhead Door Company at St. Louis Traffic Center.
7:41, and time for us to check in with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Joe Lundberg. If people have things they need to do outside, I don't know, hanging up the lights or whatever, they might want to do it today, Joe.
That would be a wise decision, Debbie, because today it's relatively mild with a high of 38. We're in the mid-30s right now. It just doesn't go up much with a northeast wind and cloud cover. Overnight tonight, it stays cloudy. We'll drop into the mid-20s. A cloudy day tomorrow. It doesn't rise much. Our high 29, that's in the morning, and then it actually starts to retreat in the afternoon as a stiff north breeze really comes in behind an Arctic front. And areas to the north and east of the city are going to have to deal with some snow, especially headed toward the Springfield area. I think there could be 2-3 inches of snow there. Keep that in mind for your travel plans north and east of the city tomorrow. That moves away to tomorrow evening. And then the bottom drops out tomorrow night. A record low on Sunday morning is 2 below from 1901. We're going to get pretty close to it, maybe 2 above for our overnight low. Sunny and very cold Sunday, the high 16. And after that, we start to say goodbye to the cold. 44 on Monday with sunshine, 54 Tuesday, and probably in the 50s for most of the rest of next week. Currently under cloudy skies, 32 at St. Peter's, 32 in Florissant, 33 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm Joe Pott. The Billikens will make their push towards a national title. It continues tonight on KMOX. I've got more coming up in sports.
More news now at 7:43. President Trump has signed an executive order blocking states from crafting their own AI regulations.
Some states have already passed their own AI laws. The president says that patchwork of rules may turn off companies looking to invest in AI in the U.S.
If they had to get 50 different approvals from 50 different states, you could forget it.
David Sachs, who chairs the president's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology, says the administration will not challenge state laws regarding kids' safety and AI.
But we're going to push back on the most onerous examples of state regulations.
Some lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say the president's order infringes on states' rights. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
There are photos online of several members of our bi-state delegation attending last night's bipartisan congressional ball at the White House. President Trump spoke to the crowd at the start of the event.
I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever it may be, it's going to be happy, and we're going to have a fantastic year.
King Charles III will speak about his cancer diagnosis and recovery during a TV broadcast later today as the monarch continues to use his personal story to encourage others to get the early screening that can boost their chances of survival. The recorded message will be broadcast on Britain's Channel 4, giving Charles the opportunity to reflect on his experiences in the 22 months since he announced he would undergo treatment for an undisclosed type of cancer.
AP correspondent Donna Warder reports on historic flooding in Washington state.
Days of torrential rains have left families stranded on rooftops, homes ripped from their foundations, and entire neighborhoods flooded in parts of Washington state under a state of emergency, and residents have been told to evacuate. In Sumas, near the U.S.-Canadian border.
Let me know when you want me to hold. You can hold. I got him at the door.
The U.S. Coast Guard video shows flood victims lifted up into a rescue helicopter nearly 73 miles south in Concrete, Washington.
Looks like we now have a houseboat.
Mariah Brosa assesses the damage to her home.
About 6 feet of water underneath my house, maybe 7.
Floods are impacting a large part of the state, and Governor Bob Ferguson is calling it a historic situation. I'm Donna Warder.
Snow and bone-chilling temperatures are forecast for parts of Kentucky today. Lexington Mayor Linda Gordon says her city is prepared.
We have plenty of salt for the roads. Our first responders are ready to respond, and our road crews are already hard at work.
Here in St. Louis, city road crews will be out pre-treating today ahead of the anticipated inch or less of snow accumulation on Saturday.
Well, tonight, the St. Louis University Billikens men's soccer team continues its charge towards a national championship. The Billikens will face North Carolina State in the national semifinal. SLU is 13-2-8 and is on a 14-game unbeaten streak going into the College Cup. NC State is 15-2-4. St. Louis is in the College Cup for the 17th time in program history and has reached the national semifinals for the first time since 1997. After advancing past Kentucky, Indiana, Bryant, and Akron. The Billikens have trailed at half in 3 of the 4 games in this NCAA tournament and have had to come back in all 4 of those games. With a win, the Billikens will return to the national championship game where they would face Furman or Washington. That semifinal takes place at 5 o'clock Central Time tonight. Tonight's game can be heard right here on KMOX, beginning with the pregame show at 7 o'clock. Also tonight on KMOX, beginning at 6 o'clock, you can hear a salute to the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney. 2025 marked Rooney's 20th year in the broadcast booth for the Redbirds. And in the hour-long special, Rooney talks about calling back-to-back World Series titles. in 2005 for the White Sox, and then coming here in 2006 with the Cardinals. He also speaks on the 2011 World Series, calling Albert Pujols' 700th home run, and more. The show features interviews and highlights from Rooney's career. Before the 2025 season comes to a close, Mizzou has announced its 2026 football schedule. That includes a 9-game SEC schedule for the first time. The Tigers open September 5th at home against Arkansas Pine Bluff before traveling to Kansas in Week 2. Mizzou faces Florida October 3rd at Faurot Field. That is the annual homecoming game. The Tigers will also play Texas, Texas A&M, Kentucky, and Oklahoma at home during the SEC season. Well, the Blues took one on the chin last night in Nashville, coming up on the wrong side of a 7-2 decision. The Predators scored 4 times in the second period. Steven Stamkos scored 4 times in the game for Nashville. The only bright spot for the Blues, rookie Hugh McGing picked up his first NHL goal in the game. The Blues are back home tonight. They will face the Chicago Blackhawks at Enterprise Center, and the puck drops at 7 o'clock. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Once again this year, Christmas meets the Beatles. You're invited to Let It Be Christmas, a rock opera that tells the Christmas story entirely with classic Beatles songs. It's a St. Louis holiday tradition, now in its 16th season. Yes, here comes the fun. Performances are December 21 and 22 at the beautiful Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. Let It Be Christmas, the gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Tickets available now at MetroTix or the K-Pack box office.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Winterfest is back for the 10th year in Keener Plaza, now through January 11th. Enjoy Winterfest traditions, including ice skating, s'mores, and igloos underneath 100,000 twinkling lights in the shadow of the Gateway Arch. Grab a bite or drink from downtown favorites and enjoy a family-friendly New Year's Eve fireworks spectacular. Winterfest, hosted by Gateway Arch Park Foundation, presented by Bank of America and Worldwide Technology. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Now the news at 9, The Talk. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's 7:50. Let's see how things are moving on the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, they took care of all those cars that were on the shoulder, Megan, northbound 55, just north of Rivas Barracks. All lanes are open there. If you're north on 55, you're rolling coming up from Festus until you get to Weber Road to River to Pear, Loughborough up to Virginia. Just a couple little slow spots. It's really not bad on 55 right now. Northbound 270 looks great down south. It is slow north of Doherty Ferry all the way up to Ladue. South 270 south of Olive down to Ladue. That's busy. Eastbound 70 and 64 look great coming out of St. Charles County. Eastbound 64, like I said earlier, just a little busy at the Interbelt. But westbound 64, we've got this crash, minor, but they have the right lane closed at McKnight. So westbound 64 is slow at Hampton and jammed from Big Bend out to McKnight. South 170 is impacted by it. It's slow at 64, and it looks like we have another crash, westbound 64, right around Clayton-Warson. So there's a couple of westbound problems that are creating jams in mid-county on 64 downtown. Westbound 64, just slow approaching Route 3 to the Poplar. And eastbound 64, a pretty solid jam from 50 through Greenmount. It opens up after that about midway to 158. Next update at 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
The weather is going to be not warm today, but compared to this weekend, it's going to be really warm, mostly cloudy and 38. Tomorrow, we're looking at another round of snow, possibly passing mainly north of the city. Should end by tomorrow night, but the temperature starts to plummet. We'll have a high of 29 degrees tomorrow, but temperature is falling throughout the afternoon. will end up on Sunday at 16 degrees for our high. On the bright side, we'll have plenty of sunshine. Right now, it is 32 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
The news continues at 7:52. The Senate on Thursday failed to advance measures that aim to alleviate healthcare costs for the nation. Democrats have been trying to extend the enhanced tax credits under the Affordable Care Act, but have failed to reach the 60 votes needed to advance the bill. CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian has details.
There are a number of bipartisan proposals that are out there, and some lawmakers want to take a bipartisan approach. There are many moderate Republicans, along with Democrats, who believe that these enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies need to be extended. Otherwise, they fear their constituents could see severe premium spikes.
On Thursday, the Indiana Senate voted against a plan to redraw the state's congressional districts, a proposal that would have seen an increase of 2 seats potentially for Republicans. 21 Republicans joined 10 Democrats voting down the plan. President Trump took aim at Indiana Senate President Pro Tem Roderick Bray, questioning if he should be primaried.
I'm sure that whenever his primary is, it's I think in 2 years, but I'm sure he'll go down. He'll go down. I'll certainly support anybody that wants to go against him.
A new study of studies has found there are benefits and risks for children and adolescents who consume plant-based diets. CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz says researchers examined 59 studies across 18 countries involving more than 48,000 kids.
The researchers compared vegetarians who consume dairy products and eggs but not meat, fish, or poultry, and vegans who don't eat any foods derived from animals with people who eat meat. Their meta-analysis found that vegetarian children consumed more fiber, iron, folate, vitamin C, and magnesium than those who eat meat, but they had lower intakes of energy, protein, fat, vitamin B12, and zinc. They also found vegan and vegetarian children were slightly shorter and had lower body mass index scores than children who eat meat. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
That peer-reviewed study was published in Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition.
Disney and OpenAI are teaming up. We get the story from Jesse Mitchell.
The Walt Disney Company has reached a 3-year agreement to license hundreds of iconic Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars characters to OpenAI's Sora platform, which creates short videos using artificial intelligence. As part of the deal, Disney says it's making a $1 billion equity investment in OpenAI, with plans to deploy ChatGPT for its employees and use OpenAI tech to develop new products.
150 Years of Forest Park is the subject of a new exhibit that opens this weekend at the Missouri History Museum. Yours Forever Forest Park at 150 shares the history of the park's adaptation over the years and major moments like the River des Peres, erasure of the park's indigenous mounds, the World's Fair, and of course, the May tornado that took out thousands of trees.
KMOX meteorologist Dave Murray says we can expect the mother lode of cold to hit St. Louis this weekend.
An inch or less accumulation of snow on Saturday. Saturday night, partly cloudy and cold, going down to 4 degrees. The record -2 from 1901. Sunday, sunny, very cold, 14 for the high temperature.
St. Louis City street crews will be out pre-treating roads starting this morning. IDOT did some salting in the Metro East last night.
We'll get another check of the roads coming up in a few minutes here. It's 7:55.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Bernie Miklas here for Saliga Heating and Cooling. Our family's called the Saliga family for 18 years, and we are grateful for Saliga's honesty, knowledge, and professionalism. They're the best. For more info, visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
It is 7:58. Hey, let's get you caught up on your ride in. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, we've had a couple of trouble spots on westbound 64 this morning. They cleared the first one that was in the right lane, westbound 64 at McKnight, although one of the vehicles is still on the shoulder of that crash, now no longer blocking. But they're just pulling up on this second one. It may just be a stall. There were two cars there originally, but I just see the one now. Modest is pulling up behind it, but they do have the left lane shut down. This is the one that's westbound 64 at Clayton Warson. So the end result is you have heavy traffic stop and go pockets or congestion on westbound 64 from Hampton pretty much all the way to Clayton Warson. It moves better in some spots than others, but heavy all the way through there. Southbound 170, it's not terrible, but it is slow from Brentwood down to 64 right now, due in part to that as well. Northbound Highway 270, you'd have heavy traffic from Manchester up to Ladue. South 270, south of Olive to Ladue is just a little busy. Northbound 55 is cleared out. Just a hint of a slowdown at Virginia. Downtown westbound 64 is just slow crossing the Poplar Street Bridge. Eastbound 64, we have that road work, and it's jammed from 50 through Greenmount Road. Then it opens up east of there. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
This is Friday, December 12th. I'm Megan Lynch. Just ahead at 8:11, we'll get a report on how to craft an AI prompt to streamline your holiday shopping.
I'm Debbie Monterrey at 8:31. All the details on the upcoming Odyssey St. Louis Holiday Blood Drive.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Mostly cloudy and cold today, the high 38.
In CBS News, Kilmar Abrego Garcia arrives at an ice field office in Baltimore for a check-in just one day after a judge ordered his release from custody. Look at the latest on that for you and more stories from CBS News. Stay with us here. Total Information AM continues on this Friday morning. We'll also get you the latest weather as well at the Tone. It's 8 o'clock.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Supporters chanting outside an ICE facility in Baltimore where Kilmar Abrego Garcia checked in hours after a judge ordered him released from detention. CBS's Camila Montoya Galvez is there.
The Trump administration has said it is trying to deport Abrego Garcia to a number of African countries because he entered the U.S. illegally back in 2011. But the federal judge who has directed his release has now ruled that he cannot be redetained this morning.
Abrego Garcia was reunited with his wife and child in Maryland last night. There's devastation in Washington state where record rainfall has tipped the balance in local rivers, sending people scrambling to the tops of homes and buildings. More than 100,000 have been evacuated. Correspondent Carter Evans is in hard-hit Mount Vernon.
Jocelyn Rosas choked back tears as she returned to see her home in Monroe underwater.
The only clothes I got is just my pajamas.
What's it like to see her like this?
It's hard.
Her father, Jose, told me they moved to this mobile park 2 months ago after his wife was diagnosed with cancer.
And it was a financial decision. You needed to save money for her treatment.
Yes. Now it's gone.
The president isn't easing up on plans for operations to force Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro from power. CBS's Charlie Daggett has details from Washington, D.C.
President Trump says the seizure of a large tanker off the coast of Venezuela was not just about the oil, citing illegal migration and drug trafficking from the South American country. again vowing to ratchet up the military fight beyond just strikes on alleged drug boats at sea.
It's going to be starting on land pretty soon.
Sources say the administration is also planning more tanker seizures.
CBS News has learned more about some fraudsters who blew hundreds of millions of dollars on fancy cars, private villas in the Maldives, and other things in one of the biggest COVID fraud schemes. CBS News Minnesota's Jonah Kaplan.
We're talking about taxpayer money that should have been used to feed hungry kids, that should have been used to help the homeless and people that needed housing assistance, that should have been used to support children with behavioral issues and autism.
Everyone's lining up.
It's time to play America's favorite jackpot game. This is Powerball.
And this is CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
Saturday night's Powerball drawing could turn a lucky player into a billionaire for the holidays. The $1 billion prize is the 7th largest in the game's history, with an estimated cash value of more than $461 million.
Dow futures are up 87. NAS futures down 122. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
At 8:03, we have cloudy skies, 34 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, December 12th. I'm Megan Lynch. One person is dead, several more injured following an overnight crash in South St. Louis. City police say it happened around midnight on northbound Interstate 55 near South Broadway. The interstate was shut down for several hours for investigators to complete their work. No names released. St. Louis Voices Academy, a downtown charter school that was shut down after a student wandered off, receives an update whether or not it can reopen.
The school must remain closed and continue virtual learning, according to a letter submitted to them by the Charter School Commission. The issues is staffing concerns. The first of which, the school has not provided sufficient information to determine if they have enough staff to serve the number of students enrolled. The other staffing issue adds to the safety concerns that have plagued the school. According to the letter, names of employees who are on the safety plan submitted to the commission are not listed on their active roster. The letter says the school cannot reopen until all issues in this and previous letters are addressed. The security reassessment of the school found the school has taken corrective actions in order to reopen. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Homicide detectives working a case in the Tower Grove South neighborhood. St. Louis City Police say a fatal shooting happened around 3 Thursday afternoon in the 3700 block of Winnebago. We know a man has died but have not learned his name. A Chicago man headed to prison for scamming elderly women in 11 states, including people in the St. Louis area.
38-year-old Lignesh Kumar Patel was sentenced Thursday to 7 years in prison on multiple fraud counts. Prosecutors say he was a money mule for an international fraud ring involving at least 85 victims. One of them was an Edwardsville woman who Patel tricked into buying $150,000 in South African gold coins with her retirement savings. Another woman in University City was convinced her identity had been used to create pornography. The only way out, paying Patel $50,000 in cash. Authorities say Patel personally visited 11 elderly women in 5 states, collecting more than $2 million. He's been ordered to pay it back. Scott Jagal, KMOX News.
It's a busy time of year at U.S. airports, and the Transportation Security Administration wants you to get through checkpoints safely and efficiently.
This is Brad Choate at Lambert St. Louis International Airport. TSA agents are doing their yearly holiday season blitz, warning travelers about items not allowed in carry-ons.
Snow globes are not allowed because of the liquid that's in there, and it's the size of the snow globe, actually, because you can have, they have smaller snow globes that's allowed through the checkpoint, but we prefer that you send any kind of snow globes, put them in your check bags.
Agent Sharon says also to not wrap presents ahead of time, wait till you get to your destination.
If you're shopping at West County Mall, you may see a unique vending machine. It's the St. Louis Giving Machine. There are choices from 5 local nonprofits for you to help. 100% of your donation made at the Giving Machines is given directly to the charity of your choice. From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, Ford Motor Company has stepped up technology in its popular F-150 pickup to counteract ever-evolving techniques car thieves have at their disposal. It's the latest move that the automaker hopes will help customers avoid the costly and frustrating process that occurs when vehicles are swiped. It includes a feature that won't allow the pickups to start even if key fobs are present. Owners can use Ford's Start Inhibit to disable their F-150's engine from a smartphone. The pickup was in the top 10 of most stolen models over the first half of 2025. Ford's Secure General Manager Christian Moran says there are a lot of F-150s on the road, and thieves like pickups. We're going to get a check of traffic and weather coming up on Total Information AM. Plus, if you're wondering how to take some of the decisions out of your holiday shopping online and all of that scrolling, we're going to have some tips for you on how to craft an artificial intelligence prompt to streamline your holiday shopping. You can even get charts made. We'll learn more about it coming up. Plus, we're going to learn more about the Odyssey Holiday Blood Drive coming up next week.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-990-1551. That's 800-990-1551.
Hey, Cardinal Cowboy here. Who would have thought a car crash would have led to charities, TV shows, and cheering with the best fans in the world? I'm thankful for every day. And so are my friends at Renner Garage Door. They've been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. With help from trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, honest family-style service you can count on. So giddy up and get your free repair or replacement quote today. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
You know, I once met a guy who said his retirement plan was winning the lottery. I said, buddy, that's not a strategy. That's a sitcom episode. I'm Gary Goldberg, and after 37 years in financial strategies, I can promise you this. Real planning works a whole lot better than lucky numbers. At Financial and Tax Strategies, I'll help you retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Tune in to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg every Saturday morning at 7 here on KMOX.
NeoVitan began with one doctor's mission to help others feel their best. After years of caring for patients, Dr. Ken Ribicki, a St. Louis physician, created NeoVitan, a line of multivitamins designed with quality, safety, and everyday wellness in mind. Each formula is made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients to support real people living real lives. Discover the difference today with NeoVitan, available at Schnucks, Dierbergs, and neovitan.com. NeoVitan, trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
This holiday season, when you get them STIHL, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit STIHLUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from STIHL. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Now the news at 1 the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's 8:10. Let's see how things are moving on the roads now. Roger Brand is in the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, they made quick work of that other incident we had, Megan, westbound 64 at Clayton Worson. It turned out it was a stall. They managed to push it from the left lane over to the shoulder, so things are clear. Now, we still have delays on westbound 64. You're still slow from McCausland out to the Interbell. It's jammed from 170 through McKnight and then slow to Clayton Worson, so it'll keep improving. North 270 is much improved, just a little slow. Both sides of 64 up to Ladue, eastbound 64 and eastbound 70 coming out of Wentzville look great, and they're okay through the Interbelt area. Northbound 55, you're good to go down in Festus and headed into the city. Westbound 64 at the Poplars cleared out. We still have this roadwork backup, though, eastbound 64, approaching 50 past Greenmount Road. It opens up about midway into 158 from there. Next update at 8:20 from the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Lots of clouds and cold today. High 38, remaining cloudy tonight, though 25. Cloudy and very cold tomorrow. It'll become breezy, too. Our high 29, but temperature will slowly fall in the afternoon. Look for some snow to pass mainly north of the city throughout the day and end during the evening hours. Sunshine returns for Sunday, but it is going to be brisk and frigid with a high just 16. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, it's a cold morning out there this morning. We've got cloudy skies, 34 degrees in Florissant, 33 in St. Peter's, and 34 degrees downtown at the Arch. This is Total Information AM on KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. This week, we've been looking at ways to use AI chatbots to help you streamline your holiday shopping. I reached out to Dr. Adnan Masood, Microsoft Regional Director and Chief AI Architect at UST, about the best ways to talk to these chatbots to get deals and cut down on decision fatigue.
What do we have to tell AI that maybe we would not have to tell a human being to get the information that we want?
So prompting is an art and a science altogether. And when you are trying to ask questions, try to specify the outcome, not the steps. So what kind of outcome are you trying to get out of this? Whether it's a description of something, whether it's a bullet point, a policy brief. Also, you define your context, define the constraints you are working with. So you define, I am a shopper who's in the market for X, or I'm a CTO who's advising a Fortune 100 retailer, and I want to do that. Another approach is to define some anchors, which is what we call zero shot or few shot prompting. So without getting too technical, if you are explaining, you can say, I want a short, punchy answer as this persona, right? So anchor, providing a sample answer, which will help you get the right answers from there. You can also put constraints around this, like explain like I'm a CFO, explain like I'm a marketing director, and those constraints help you. So as you frame your prompt to be not just a single sentence, more directed, more curated across the result, it really helps you get the right answers. I hope that answers your question.
It does. And so I've heard of people using AI, for example, to get lists or comparison charts. How do you prompt a chatbot to do that for you?
So you ask for a comparative analysis, and it would be great if you can actually define the features, what you're comparing things against. For instance, if it's a product, you want to compare against pricing, but you also might want to compare against the dimensions or the specific qualities and attributes of an object. Depending on attributes, how you will of the shopping attributes, you will ask for glasses, you can ask for the type, the model. Essentially, the way large language models work, as a technologist, as a machine learning PhD, I can tell you that the way these models work, they're what we call stochastic parrots. So they parrot off of the things you talk about. So the more keywords, the more relevant keywords you will use, they will build upon those. And they will essentially expand on the probability of those keywords. So essentially, it makes a word graph. And the neural network is digging down on those words. So the more relevant words you provide, the better the output would be. So use the terminology, ask for comparative analysis between the terms. And you can also first just ask an LLM that I am looking for a comparative analysis for this product. What should I compare for? And at that point, what you're doing is called chain of thought reasoning. So you essentially are digging into LLM to ask, give me the set of features. There's another one of my favorite terms I use, ask it to be terse, because they can be very verbose, right? So you get a lot of verbosity out of LLMs. Instead of that, if you say, can you be terse, T-E-R-S-E, terse, it gives you a very concise response. There's another keyword I use, no yapping, which helps it to not give you too much information, but actually be very cohesive and comprehensive.
So what if I wanted to get me the best deal on a TV, and I give it some parameters of what I'm looking for in a TV? How do I verbalize that, that I want the best quality, cheapest, what are the kinds of things that I need to put in that prompt?
So if I'm looking to write a prompt like this, I'll just tell you the recipe of how to do it instead of the prompt. If I'm trying to look for TV or any other electronic, a good way is to ask the LLMs. So LLMs can write the prompts really, really well themselves. So I'm looking for this TV. Can you frame a prompt for me for these attributes which I'm looking for, right? So I want it widescreen, I want 70-inch bigger, I want the OLED version. It has to come from a good brand or good brand. Pricing is secondary. The quality is the primary. and I would like it to be, certain whatever the attributes we are looking for. It's going in the living room, so these dimensions I have to have, and this kind of hanging, I need to hang it on the wall. So this kind of, it should support that, and should have 5 HDMI cables and support Apple TV. It has to be a smart TV. All these attributes, right? And there might be also the beauty is like there are unknown unknowns too, right, Megan? So there are things which I don't really know about the modern TVs, which probably has come out in like last month. So what are the things I'm looking for? So you can also ask an LLM, what are the things I don't know? So tell me, or I haven't asked, what are the key questions? So what it will do, it will give you a list of features. And if you ask for it to be terse, it will actually give you features which you can go through quickly and then say, these are my attributes. Then what I would recommend to do is to do a deep research. So there's a feature in most large language models. OpenAI has it, Gemini has it, Perplexity, all these large language models, all these search engines have this, where you can do a deep research. So there's an option where you can click, do a deep research, and give that prompt to the deep research. So what deep research does, it takes a little bit of time. It goes through the entire internet, and it will find out the best possible combination of those deals which are available from Twitter to different websites and all the places, and it will give you the detail. On top of that, now we are at the cusp of this thing called agentic shopping coming through, and you will see more and more of that happening, where ChatGPT, within the chat environment, you can actually start doing shopping, which is, I can't wait for that. It's a very exciting time of future, because now you can filter just by natural language. So you see, natural language is just becoming the next programming language. So we are communicating with computers like humans in English language, just like that. So that's what's happening. So shopping research, you can now select in ChatGPT. There's an option called shopping research. I'm not sure exactly what models support it. The model I use, Pro, actually has that. I think it's possibly limited to paid models, but we will soon see this agentic AI coming through. So when you go into the shopping research, it does exactly that. It looks through the entire shopping catalog. And of course, you have seen shopping.google.com, which does something similar. It's not necessarily an agentic framework at this point, but that's what's happening. I've seen Kayak having agents where you can actually, just in natural language, define, this is my trip. This, I want to have minimize the overlays, layovers. I want the length of the flight doesn't matter, but it has to go through Heathrow and has to go through that. If you provide those constraints, it actually finds you a really good flight, right? Because it goes through its inventory and it does that, as compared to me going in and clicking in 500 different check boxes and drop downs, right? So it really helps find the right flight. So I just feel like we are living in a very exciting time when we can communicate our intent to results, right? Intent to shopping results, intent to product results, intent to flight results. All of that is coming together.
Are there any risks or downsides that you would want listeners to know about?
So I was just actually at a Financial Times roundtable, and we were discussing about this, and the topic came out. This was in the Chatham rules, so I can't. It came up that what's going to happen when everybody has an agent? What would equilibrium look like? So if everybody's looking for a deal, the companies know AI-wise, like these deals are being looked for. So but they will not offer the deal, or they will offer the deal to actually do dynamic pricing, where the deal will adjust according to where you are doing. So for instance, previously used to be that if you are searching for pricing on a Mac or a PC, that will differ, because they know, I guess the demographic will change, and then they will know. So dynamic pricing is a very interesting area, and that's where I feel like that will be a caveat. So
that is Dr. Adnan Masood, Microsoft Regional Director and Chief AI Architect at UST. 8:20, time to check the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we're looking good, Megan. The only place we have delays on the Missouri side is westbound 64. We had a couple of earlier incidents, and they're gone, but there's still some slow traffic westbound 64 from west of Bellevue most of the way out to Lindbergh, just slow going westbound, but eastbound's fine there. It looks great out west on eastbound 70 and eastbound 64. North 270 is clear. Northbound 55 is clear. Westbound Poplar's clear. We do have this roadwork jam still. Eastbound 64, east of 50 past Greenmount Road in Metro East, however. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And checking that forecast for today, a high of 38, a low of 25 tonight, and then tomorrow, a high only around 29. Colder weather sets in on Sunday, though. It's going to be the coldest day so far this year. Expect a high of just 16 degrees on Sunday. Right now, we have cloudy skies, 34 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Selling a home these days can seem like a daunting task because so much has been going on with the markets and with mortgage rates and interest rates, and is now a good time to sell. You could take a lot of that worry off your shoulders by having the right agent. Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty is that agent who will give you that peace of mind that you can look for your next home. You can start packing. You can start thinking about the other things while she sells your home guaranteed. That's right. Your Home Sold Guaranteed, or Gloria will buy it herself. She makes the buying and selling process so simple. She will guarantee in writing to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she will buy it herself. So you know that your home is sold when Gloria Liu is your agent. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. And you might be thinking, well, I have this specific situation, or I have fill in the blank. Just call her and talk to her about it. She has solutions for every home seller. 314-325-6888 or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Welcome back to Total Information AM on KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. President Trump could soon change marijuana laws. According to several reports, the president expected to announce a push to downgrade weed from a Schedule 1 controlled substance to a Schedule 3. Odyssey's Brian Douglas talked about it with Chad Pennington, Deputy Federal Public Defender for the Central District of California.
What is the difference between Schedule 1 and Schedule 3?
I think the biggest difference is just the intensity of the enforcement and how judges are going to treat possession, distribution, possession with intent to distribution. Big difference between Schedule 1 and Schedule 3. So it's fundamentally a difference in how the courts are going to interpret conduct that relates to the possession with intent to distribute it.
Now, I'm thinking someone listening that may, enjoy marijuana. In California, you can go to a dispensary and get some. How does this change the transport of marijuana? Because as of now, you really can't take it to another state. Are the state laws, individual state laws, would they stay the same, or would this law, if Trump does change this, kind of literally trump all the other laws, state laws?
No, the state laws are going to stay the same, most likely. That's not going to really change anything as it relates to state enforcement and state laws regarding marijuana. But I think what President Trump is trying to do, it's not inconsistent with, say, for example, what President Biden did with pardoning simple marijuana possession at one point in 2022 and 2023. So it's kind of a long arc here of maybe a different perspective on how to enforce marijuana. So I don't think what Trump is doing is that different than necessarily what Biden was doing.
Got it. So what does this mean for people already serving time for marijuana offenses?
Yeah, it may not mean much for them. It may not really do anything at all. Probably won't. But I think it's more forward-looking, not necessarily backward-looking.
So if I have marijuana and I have a prescription for it, because now if this does happen, it becomes federal law, what have you, I would be able to take this on a plane to another state. Am I correct? I know you said the state laws wouldn't change, but would that still help me if, let's say, I genuinely needed marijuana for some sort of medical condition and I had a prescription?
Hard to really say what it's going to do on a case-by-case basis. I think that's really kind of hard to predict. I think it's really what you're really looking at more is just the overall trend of marijuana being treated maybe differently moving forward than it has been in the past. If it's going to move from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, we can expect maybe judicial treatment's going to be different, but you really got to think about the cases on an individual basis.
Why is the president talking about this now?
We really don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, President Trump's motivations are always going to be his and his alone. But I do think what this administration is doing is probably not that different than what, say, for example, Biden was doing in his administration. And that's trying to maybe bring federal enforcement maybe more in line with the states. And if not more in line with the states, just treating it in a different way, recognizing that it's fundamentally of a different character than maybe the other drugs that are on Schedule 1.
That's Deputy Federal Public Defender Chad Pennington. It's now 8:27. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
October 20th, 1982.
There when St. Louis celebrated.
Sitter from the belt to the plate. A swing and a miss, and that's the winner. That's the winner. A World Series winner for the Cardinals. Porter throws his mask into the air. The players converge around the mound. The police arrive on the scene. The Cardinals have won the game 6-3. The Cardinals have won the National League pennant. And the Cardinals have won the 1982 World Series.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by Together Credit Union. Competitive rates to help you save more and borrow smarter. Visit togethercu.org.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here for the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX.
Let's check the roads for you. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it's been a great Friday morning, Megan, and we continue to roll along around the area. This traffic reports service at Kelley Tire and Auto Centers. Westbound 64, just a little bit slow now. McCausland headed out to Big Bend. After that is pretty much back on track. And the rest of these highways, we have an incident eastbound 44 east to 141. It's on the shoulder. I'm not seeing any delays through there right now as you come up the hill. There's a little slowdown eastbound 64 from Prospect midway to Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Doesn't even run all the way through there. 55 is clear. We do have the roadwork back up on the Illinois side. More of a slowdown right now, eastbound 64, east of 50, passing Greenmount Road. Next update at 8:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sponsored by Kelley Tire and Auto Centers. Take it to Kelley.
One little light can stall out your entire day, the check engine light. So I reached out to my go-to problem solver. Dad, what do? He didn't miss a beat. Take it to Kelley, he said. So I did. But they didn't just fix my car. They fixed my day. Take it to Kelley.
From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, it looks like we're going to have mostly cloudy skies. It will be cold today, a high of 38, cloudy and cold tonight, a low of 25. Right now, cloudy skies, 34 in downtown St. Louis. KMOX and Odyssey St. Louis need your help next week. Let's check in with the executive director of the Greater St. Louis chapter of the Red Cross, Lucretia Cox, joining me online now. Lucretia, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this is our annual Odyssey Holiday Blood Drive. Tell us a little bit about what the need is right now for blood supplies.
Yeah, so we're encouraging people to come out to donate blood, especially during this time of year. We know that people are traveling, they're busy shopping, and there's just so much going on at the end of the year. But also during that time, we have a low blood supply, so we're trying to make sure that we're keeping up with the demand of what the hospital needs in the metropolitan area. So thank you so much for this partnership. We really appreciate it.
I know there are certain blood types sometimes that are in more demand than others. So what are those?
We always encourage O negative, and even if you're O, but we really appreciate every blood type. So it's really easy to sign up, but we're really excited about all of the areas and spots and locations that we have them.
Lucretia, what do people need to know about donating blood if they maybe haven't done it for a while or they've never done it?
Honestly, it's really easy to do because you'll check in at each of the sites. You can go and they'll let you know whether or not you're eligible to donate or not. I think there's a lot of people that think that they can't donate, but in fact, there are a lot of people that are eligible to donate blood. And so we encourage you just to try it out, and you'll definitely know exactly what you can do on that day.
So the Odyssey Holiday Blood Drive is next Tuesday through Friday, the 16th through the 19th. Where do people go to get information on locations and make an appointment?
Yeah, so you can go to redcrossblood.org. You can make an appointment actually ahead of time. And so when you do that, you can use the sponsor code Odyssey. Or if you don't want to go on site, you can also call us at 1-800-RED-CROSS. And someone will be able to assist and help you to get signed up soon.
So at redcrossblood.org. And for listeners, Odyssey is spelled Audacy. Anything else we need to know, Lucretia?
Yeah, we're doing a free giveaway just to encourage folks to come out. And so from December 8th to the 18th, you'll receive a $15 Amazon gift card by email. And if you give throughout December 19th through the 4th, you'll get an exclusive Red Cross long t-shirt while supplies last.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. And I know our KMOX listeners and our other stations will come out and force to help you out.
Thank you so much. Have a happy holiday season.
You as well. That is Lucretia Cox. She is the executive director of the Greater St. Louis chapter of the Red Cross. Again, that's December 16th through 19th. You can sign up at redcrossblood.org and put in the code AUDACY.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
8:35, time for your Money Report, sponsored by Eamon Gattner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Coca-Cola's advertising has long made clear its flagship product is the real thing. And now the beverage giant wants you to know its new chief is a real American. In the press release announcing that Enrique Braun would succeed James Quincy as the company's top executive, Coca-Cola said Braun is, quote, an American citizen who was born in California and raised in Brazil. The S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, coming off record highs. Shares of Broadcom, which is competing with NVIDIA for artificial intelligence computing revenue, that was lower in pre-market trading. Its sales outlook failed to meet lofty expectations. And Uber is expected to offer robotaxi services in more than 10 markets by the end of next year. The company is hoping to become the dominant force in the industry it estimates will eventually be worth at least $1 trillion. Uber's made hundreds of millions of dollars worth of investments in autonomous vehicle developers. I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kellwood, St. Louis.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. This holiday season, you can be the reason children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach milestones once thought impossible. Your gift provides life-saving care to those who need it most. Please donate today at treeofhope.org and be the reason a child has hope for tomorrow.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house, on the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
This is 104.1 FM KMOX. Here's what's happening. The Senate has rejected legislation to extend Affordable Care Act tax credits, essentially guaranteeing that millions of Americans will see a steep rise in costs at the beginning of the year. A new AP North poll finds this holiday season isn't quite so merry for American shoppers, as large shares of them are dipping into savings and scouring for bargains. And Disney investing $1 billion in OpenAI to bring characters like Mickey Mouse and Luke Skywalker to the AI company's Sora video tool. Let's see if things are winding down on the roads. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, they definitely are, Megan. We still have the road work back up on eastbound 64, east of 50. Past Greenmount Road opens up midway to 158. Seeing a little bit of a slowdown right now on eastbound 270. Approaching Riverview, so it's east of Lilac through Riverview there, and a backup. Not sure if there's a crash or what the problem is, but you have a jam northbound Tesson Ferry from about a quarter mile south of Butler Hill up to Bauer right now. It's bumper to bumper through there. I'm Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Time for the Friday edition of Hancock and Kelley.
You two belong together.
John Hancock, Michael Kelley on 104.1 FM, King of OX.
Good morning, John Hancock.
Hey there,
buddy.
We're less than 2 weeks from Christmas.
I know, and the cold weather is coming in. Tomorrow we're expecting single digits.
Brisk. I love it.
So, but last night wasn't too bad out. It was chilly.
It was lovely last night.
And
went to the Garden Glow at the Missouri Botanical Garden.
How was it?
Lovely bright. It was gorgeous.
What is the Garden Glow?
Buddy, it's lit up like my Uncle Leroy. it is. It's incredible. The lights and what they do with the trees and it's beautiful.
Is it something that's mainly for adults like you and Georgianne wanting to be romantic, or is it something you take grandkids to?
Oh, you totally could. Now, last night it opened at 7, so that was too late for little Nico. But on some evenings they start at 5 p.m. and so that's it would be ideal to bring the kids. It's magnificent.
I did not go to the Garden Glow last night. I navigated my smart TV to watch the football game. I hate when the games are on
There
prime.
was a football game on last night.
Yeah, Thursday night.
I totally
was
missed
the Falcons and the Buccaneers. The Falcons won.
No.
Yeah, beat Tampa Bay at the last
The
minute.
Buccaneers are folding like a cheap suit, man.
Yeah, and that's our guy Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
Talk
it
about
is.
a story of
up and down.
Up and down, up and down. Appears as though he's back on the downslide. Hey, speaking of the downslide, there's some stuff going down in South America, John Hancock. Of course, we've got that huge investigation going on related to the double attack on the supposed drug boats that the president's talked about. Many of allegations that was a war crime. And of course, we're not getting much answers. Also, the administration this week seizes a tanker from Venezuela, and Donald Trump in Donald Trump form is out saying, hey, we're coming, we're coming. I thought Donald Trump said we were done with wars around the world, and it appears as though he's going to just shift where we have wars from the Middle East to South America.
Well, as you may be aware, I've been in disagreement with a number of this administration's policies. The objective in Venezuela, however, I tend to agree with Donald Trump on. Now, I'm not a fan of bombing these boats. They could be interdicted by the Coast Guard just as effectively without the loss of lives, and it remains to be seen whether those actions are extra legal or not. That will be determined. But the oil tanker, which was taking what international sanctions had said cannot be delivering that oil, and the United States interdicted. And the effort here, the policy is pretty clear, is to rid the people of Venezuela of what is really a horrible dictator in Nicolas Maduro. And you know, in terms of U.S. foreign policy, particularly in our hemisphere, it's not at all unprecedented. We did this with Duarte in Haiti, you may remember, and also in Panama when we dislodged the dictator in Panama. And the hope and the goal should be to have democratically held elections in that country, which they've not been able to have under Maduro, and opposition leaders have had to flee the country. And I think the president's policy objective here is noteworthy and good.
How does that sync, though, with the dictator who invaded a sovereign country over in Europe?
Well,
I mean, and so the president's saying, no, we're getting out of this. Other people need to take care of it. Yet he's wanting to go pick a fight in Venezuela. I guess the problem that I have, John, is like so many things this man said, I'm going to do this on day one. Prices are going to go down. We're going to get out of the endless wars. He says one thing and does another almost consistently every time.
Well, the policy in Ukraine is wrong. Our policy in Ukraine. We should be supporting Ukraine. We should be standing with Ukraine. We should be providing materiel to Ukraine to prosecute this war, because they have been illegally invaded. They are a sovereign country, and Russia is a malign actor. And I am in full agreement that if you don't stop Russia here, then Eastern Europe is up for grabs, very destabilizing to the world order. But just because I disagree with that policy doesn't mean I have to disagree with every policy. And I think the action in Venezuela, with the caveat that I think the boat strikes are unnecessary and potentially extra legal. But the overall policy to rid that nation of a dictator is laudatory. And not to forget our own Yadier Molina,
What about Yachty?
He's coaching the baseball team in Venezuela. I hope he remains safe.
Oh, my.
Pending what's about to happen.
Well, Pam Bondi and the Justice Department has taken the list of enemies from Donald Trump and gone forth with trying to prosecute. Remember James Comey, the former FBI director?
I do.
They were going after him. Guess what happened? That got kicked out.
Yep, and the statute of limitations ran, so they're done with that.
Then Letitia James from the Attorney General up in New York, who had gone after President Trump, he's now on his third time trying to get her indicted. There's no grand jury that will do this.
I think the second one, at least the second time, where the grand jury said no, I think the guy that prosecuted that was out of St. Louis.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So here we sit with, and for sure he'll keep going down this road. Are we seeing the deterioration of an independent Justice Department?
Well, these indictments don't make any sense, and you've got to be. I would say that this administration is more intimately involved from the White House to the Justice Department than any we've had in modern U.S. history. So, I don't like to see these things.
No doubt about it. Hey, brother, we're going to step aside.
We are.
Listen to some commercials. Come back. Hancock and Kelley. We're going to talk about some Missouri stuff after this on the 100-year-old KMOX.
I'm Scott Jagow. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Wednesday was a great day at the Hancock house. Why? Because the mobile pet spa from Four Pretty Paws pulled up in the driveway promptly at 8 o'clock. Our 8 o'clock appointment for Gus. Gus was a stinky dog, Michael. And he gets his little paws. He looks like the Grinch, the hair overgrows his paw. I mean, he was a bad looking, bad smelling dog. And there was Stacy. She comes out of the van. Gus, not anxious to get inside there. So Georgianne calls me down and said, just pick him up and put him in. So I try to pick the dog. I can't pick the dog up.
Right.
Dog weighs 80 pounds. So Stacy says, I'll do it. No, Stacy, we got this. I didn't have this. Stacy comes, whoosh, picks him up, walks him into the van, and about an hour and 15 minutes later, he comes out smelling amazing. Why? Because Four Pretty Paws comes to you. You set an appointment. You get wonderful people like Stacy who love your pets, who work with your pets, who groom your pets, trim their little paws, and they come out with a fresh bandana, a fresh smell. This morning, I greeted Gus. He's still smelling amazing. Four Pretty Paws, FOUR prettypaws.com. They also are now available in serving Southern Illinois. They're clean, they're quiet, they're reliable, they're trustworthy, they're honest, and they've got great people. I would recommend it fully to all of you. You won't have to take your dog to the groomer ever again. The groomer comes to you at Four Pretty Paws, fourprettypaws.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. The Brennans love celebrating the holidays at home. There has never been a better time to move up to McKelvey with our Home for the Holidays sale. This is your last chance to save big at the Preserve in Afton with savings of $25,000 plus $10,000 cash at closing and special financing on all of the 4 remaining homes, including our luxurious Turnberry display. The Preserve is truly special with lakes, trails, and an abundance of wood and common ground. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brisati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
This is Kyle Bush with Krantz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Life changes, divorce, loss of a loved one, or an inheritance. It can be overwhelming. We provide the resources, long-standing support, and thoughtful guidance you need to plan ahead. With our help and experience, you don't have to navigate these transitions alone. You can move forward with greater clarity and confidence. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, member FINRA/SIPC. Krantz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Welcome back to the Hancock and Kelley Show on KMOX. We'll take you to the top of the hour. Before the news, we'll be joined by Chris and Amy here in studio. And John, it's a complete disaster. What might you ask that?
Well, you can take your pick.
Yeah, so you probably would be thinking, oh, Kelley's going to talk about city government. Oh, or maybe Kelley's going to talk about the Trump administration. No, I'm going to talk about St. Louis County.
St. Louis County, the most populous county in the state of Missouri.
And arguably the most important county in the state of Missouri. No doubt about it, what it does in terms of driving revenue for the whole state. Have you heard what's going on as it relates to the county office building?
What do you think? I don't listen to the news?
Yeah, so they have some serious issues in the county office building. It's an old building, I think built in 60s or 70s. It doesn't have proper fire suppression equipment, the sprinklers, etc. It needs to be updated. This is in the midst of this big budget shutdown that's going on.
They got an $81 million hole.
Right, and a potential for bankruptcy in 2 years if they don't figure this out. But they've got to find some way to fix their offices. Have you heard what the solution is?
Well, I imagine they're going to try and figure out a way to stay where they are.
No, they're talking about moving to St. Ann, Missouri.
St. Ann,
up
Missouri.
in the old Northwest Plaza, your
Where
old stomping
where the
grounds.
big stores are.
Yeah, up in Northwest Plaza. I got to tell you, this sounds like the most ridiculous idea in the world to me. County government has been stationed right there in the county seat of Clayton forever. And it's centrally located. We're a huge county. I mean, driving from South County to North County can take you almost an hour.
Yeah.
And that's if there's no traffic. So the idea that we're now going to move county government up to North County, I think disenfranchises a lot of folks down in Fenton or
Oakville.
Yeah, Afton, etc., Chesterfield, Wildwood. What are they thinking? Why would we move county government to St. Ann when in St. Louis County and Clayton, you have the Metrolink, you have the bus stops, you have all the infrastructure that exists, and this is the solution they have to make it more difficult for citizens to go and pay their taxes.
That doesn't make any sense. And yeah, St. Ann's a lovely community. Love St. Ann, but it's not centrally located by any means, and Clayton is. I don't understand. So are they unable to stay in that building for some period of time and kind of work things out with the city? Because I guess it's the city of Clayton that's told them they don't meet code.
Right. But it seems to me that the county and city of Clayton could get together and figure this out.
Well, one would think, yeah.
But to relocate thousands of people from Clayton all the way up to St. Ann, making it harder for people to go get death certificates, birth certificates, pay their taxes, all the things that you do in Clayton. Listen, nobody likes the experience you have to have with government.
Yeah, right.
We're usually going to hand over money to them. But the idea that we would make it even harder for people to participate in their government makes no sense to me.
There must be no available office space in Clayton.
Well, there's no money. And at the same time, we've got our governor of the state of Missouri saying, hey, I'm going to put more money in your pocket, John Hancock. I'm going to get rid of the state income tax.
He's going to phase out the state income tax.
How's he going to pay for it? Oh, it's going to wind up being sales taxes that those on the bottom of the scale
Well, I don't think that's been determined just yet. And, some portion of that's going to be taken in by economic growth, if and when we ever see any.
Right.
And it's not going to be a one fell swoop. It's going to be a phase out with a goal of getting to zero.
Right. And many other states have done it. People think this is going to bring folks to the state of Missouri. Will it, though? Will it cost us jobs? You have to make that revenue up in other places. So if you don't do it in sales tax, which is typically where it would go, you'd have to do it in use taxes and stuff that transfers across state lines. So a major corporation maybe buys grain from the state of Montana that comes into Missouri so they can make beer with it. They put taxes on that as a result. Look, it's not a zero-sum game. We're going to pay the same amount of money for government we've paid in the past. It's just who's going to pay it. How is this going to be a better solution?
Because when you tax income, you get less of it. And when there is a no state income tax, that's an allurement for people to come here and relocate. You need to look no further than other states who have eliminated their state income tax.
Who's done that? Nobody's eliminated their state income tax.
Tennessee.
When did they do that? In the 50s?
No, much more recently than that. Tennessee is one of the more recent.
They're the only state that's been able to eliminate
Texas, Florida.
They started
a
with
host
of
states
oil.
that don't have
tourism.
Nevada, doesn't have. We have tourism. Tourism is one of our largest industries.
We make the roads and government work right now. Now we're going to starve it, or we're going to put it on the backs of the corporations.
You're not going to starve it. And what you are going to have is a better, fuller, more vibrant state economy. And I think that's what the governor is hoping to achieve.
I wonder how that worked in Kansas, where they had to flip back on it. Hey, it's Hancock and Kelley. We're sticking around with Amy and Chris right here on the 100-year-old KMOX.
It's Friday, so Hancock and Kelley with us to start the show today, as always. Also, some confusion around vaccine recommendations for newborns. Dr. Rachel Orschlin on the show. And the Chiefs are fighting for their